Spawncast episode 417. It's the weekend after the Switch 2 launch. So we actually have a returning cast member here, that being MVG.
What's going on, fellas? Great to be back. I was very excited about the Switch 2, so I didn't want to miss this weekend. This feels like an old school Spawncast. All the OGs
it does,
are
right?
Here, so great to be here, John.
It does. We have Celia and Josie are actually at the Summer Game Fest festivity, IGN Live or something. They're there. They are there. So they will be back with Game and Talk with Sean this week coming up to talk about their Switch 2 impressions. So you'll have to tune in for that. But we're going to be talking a lot about the Switch 2, of course, State of Play, and Summer Game Fest, all kinds of announcements that hit. Sean, how we doing? Or I'm sorry, Furukawa is built different. How you doing?
Doing all right. I'm trying to figure out. You don't use the Elgato Game Capture HD, right?
I do.
I have one. Yeah.
How do you mute it? So I'm gonna be capturing footage, and it's playing the audio from. Oh, you know what? I think I figured it out. Hold on. I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
Okay, I can tell you how to do. I mean, I used to use
okay,
it,
I figured it out. You just got to mute the
one thing, though, Sean. What I'll say is that I'm not trying to tell you to spend more money, but because I know you've already spent a lot. But the Genki capture cards work significantly better with at least with Nintendo stuff.
Yeah, that gets you put on a list.
But it works way better. Like Elgato is just there's issues, man. There's issues with that capture card.
Dude, my Elgato capture card is like 8 years old, and this thing is still trucking along. It's probably 10 years old at this point.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Old reliable.
You're gonna upgrade that thing like you did your monitor and like have a new lease on life.
I mean, it's not that. I mean, you know, it does 1080 60, which I'm not messing with 4K. 4K is too
Yeah.
there's no file size.
Yeah, there's no point in doing 4K right now, at least.
OJ, how we doing, OJ?
Yeah, doing good. Had a good Spawncast pre-show, so make sure you guys tune in for the Spawncast pre-show every Saturday before this stream. So it's good. It's good. I can't complain. Been playing a ton of Switch. Been testing out damn near everything. Backwards compatibility with a lot of different games and stuff. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
Okay, good stuff. And then Evan, how's it going over there?
It's going all right. Got shellacked at a tournament today. Working on the thumbnail though.
Oh,
so.
Well, what was that for Warhammer?
Yeah, I'm just putting stuff out so I can get things put away soon.
Is my game audio coming through?
What?
No, you're good.
Okay,
You're good.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. You're good. You getting ready for that too many games tournament?
Yeah, that'll be wild. Freaking 2.5 hour 2K games when tournaments are normally 3.
Last time you won through perseverance.
That was the other game. I ripped some kids apart in the first round for the actual 40K stuff on Saturday, but we'll see how that works.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. So again, we got the Switch 2 stuff. Obviously, a ton of it. Everyone here was like making videos all over the place for this. So let's we'll start with the Switch 2 actually here. So let me. Oh, you know what? I did have these come in before we went live. Leo says walked into Walmart at 5 p.m. launch day without pre-order and was able to grab a Switch 2. It's really nice being able to do that again. And then we have Leo saying RGT Giants suck. Go Birds.
Suck a dick. Fuck the Birds.
John's
a closet Birds fan.
My wife's an Eagles fan, so
yeah.
Didn't go so well for me. But Switch 2 launched this past week. I did the midnight release. OJ, you did midnight release, didn't you?
Yeah, I was in San Francisco at the Nintendo store. So they did a little invite thing. There was Greg Miller was there.
Oh boy.
Kind of Funny Games was there. They did a live stream. I guess I was in it, at least in the background. Somebody told me that. So yeah, they did like a little like launch party thing in San Francisco at the store. So yeah, that was cool. That's where I was getting it midnight, or it was 9 p.m. West Coast time. But yeah. So yeah, that was cool.
That's nice. That's where the West Coast comes through because you get it 3 hours before midnight technically.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, they had like a little thing for us, like where they're serving us like some like refreshment stuff. I don't know what the hell they were called. It was like fancy stuff. I didn't even remember what it was. But yeah, I was like playing like Mario Kart a little bit early, and like they had it all set up like knockout tour and stuff. And that was my first time ever in the Nintendo store in San Francisco since they just opened. So yeah, that was fun. It was a cool midnight launch, and talk to people in the crowd and stuff. So it was fun.
MVG, you did not do the midnight release. You did the Walmart experience, right?
Yeah, I had a bit of a. I was caught up in that Walmart fraud credit card thing that was going on earlier in the week, and I was a little nervous that my order was going to get cancelled. So my backup plan was just to head down to Target when it opened at 8 a.m., which I probably would have secured one because Target had a lot of stock pretty much the entire day. But Walmart did come through. They showed up at like 7:30 a.m. Thursday morning, and they gave me the Switch with the Pringles and the Coke. So it was a good time. So
what was your combination?
I got just regular Coke, and I think I got sour onion Pringles, which
that's
I
a good
liked.
one.
I like the sour onion Pringles. So
pizza, come on, the pizza.
That would have been my preference, but I can do sour onion.
Yeah, I got another one. My wife, I wasn't here though. I was in San Francisco. My wife told me they delivered it, and yeah, I think mine was the sour one or the sour onion, and then the Coke.
Yeah. I got pizza and then like orange cream Coke or something like one of the weird flavored Cokes.
I'd fuck with that. That's a good combo.
Oh yeah, it's still in the fridge. I bring too many games for you.
Yeah. You got the Pringles too?
No. Kids are eating the Pringles.
I had to pour out the Coke, man. They didn't do Diet Coke.
These are my Pringles.
Yeah, the Pringles don't last very long.
Yeah, no. This is regular Pringles and stuff. Yeah, no, they dropped it off early though. You're right, MG. I think they dropped it off here before 8 o'clock in the morning. So
yeah, they came through. It was good. In the end, no issues. But I was a little stressed out like Wednesday morning because I was like, there's no update on my order. I don't know if I'm going to get canceled. This is going to get canceled and all that sort of stuff. And they came through. It was all good. But in the end, I checked yesterday, and yesterday you couldn't really get one in. But on Thursday, all day they were available at Target, so I could have easily just driven down there and picked one up if I wanted to. But no issues at all.
So let's talk about the midnight release, Sean, the Best Buy experience, because both of us did that.
We did.
And kind of differently though, because I had my pre-order that went in that night when they did pre-orders for the Switch 2, and it was like chaos. I had managed to get mine to go through on Best Buy and have it picked up locally at midnight. So I went there with that in mind, but Sean, who just went there to his Best Buy on a whim, basically checked out before I did technically on my side.
Well, Rax, I went with Rax. Yep. And he had a pre-order, and so like he was hanging out in the poverty line with us for a while, and then like he was very kind enough. Go subscribe to him. He bought me a chair because we didn't bring chairs, and we're old and we can't stand for like 4 hours. So he got us some chairs from Target because there's a Target right near it. But so he goes into that line, and I'm standing there with the guy who I was trying to buy the Switch off of because he was at the launch, and a couple other dudes, and I'm looking at the line, and our line is going way faster, and there's probably like 150 or so plus people in our line, and there's probably like 50 on the other side. And so 12:30 comes along, I'm walking in, Rax still has like 25 people ahead of him. And I guess it's because they have to like look up your order or something. Yep. And, I just walked in, and they had like the little menu system. And I was like, all right, I want this, and this. And then that was it, handed over the cash. We were good to go.
Nice. Yeah, I got out of there like 10 minutes to 1. It was like 12:50 something when I got out of there. And I was like, wow, they opened their doors for just processing these orders and handing out Switch 2s at midnight. But that line was taking a while to get through. And yeah, the people on the other side who were just showed up without a pre-order, they got through faster than we did.
Yeah. Dude, shout outs to Best Buy. That was great.
That is, dude, I complained about that shit on my stream. I'm like, Best Buy, they did the same thing they did last time. In 2017, when I had an order from Best Buy. It took me an hour plus to get out. There were people that literally went there and they got their orders before people that already had it pre-ordered. So there was people that never even had pre-orders, and they were able to get in and get out faster than people who did. That's just Best Buy, man, they always have that issue, man.
We had a Nintendo rep there at our Best Buy who gave me some patches like that you could only get, and she was sent by Nintendo, and she was like, "Oh, I want to take a picture of all of you." It was like me and Rax and the other dudes we were hanging out with, and I was like, "Yeah, you sending that to Nintendo?" She was like, "Yeah, you know." I was like, "Tell them RGT85 said hi. They like me over there." Candy, yeah, Candy, that was her name.
Anyway, I got the coin. I got the Best Buy coin. So
now I think only pre-order people got the coin because they weren't giving out coins to the poverty people. Dude, there was this one guy in line. He didn't have a full deck of cards, we'll say, but he was like freaking out, like worried that he wasn't gonna get the coin, and just like, yeah, it was pretty funny.
How many cards did he have in his deck? How many cards did he have in his deck?
Let's say a full deck is 10. He was probably sitting at about 4.5. He didn't drive there. His mom and someone else, like his sister or something, was in the car because after he got out of there, he just like ran to the car.
Yeah, you should have experience with that. That's typical Twitter user right there, right?
Not wrong.
But it was pretty smooth experience. Just took a little longer than they like. Although I will say, a lot of people showed up to that Best Buy. I'm not sure what the line was for you, Sean. Dude, I looked around. That thing wrapped all the way around the building.
Well, yeah,
these are big buildings.
Well, we got there at 8, and we were like 40th in line, and there was easily at least 150 people just in the non-pre-order line. It was wrapped around to the back of the building and stuff like that. It was pretty great. I didn't expect there to be that many people there. Just because I don't know, you never think like, oh, my town is gonna have a bunch of people who want this, but no, there was a lot of freaking people driving by and stuff. What are you waiting for? What's the line for? Just like every few minutes, like every other store. Target closed at 11. All of you should be home, but no, there's just people randomly driving through this park. What are you waiting for? What's the line for? I told this one car full of girls that we were getting deported, and like one of the girls in the car got like so up, she was like put her hands in her face. She's like, no. I was like, yep, deportation line.
Yeah, she definitely had not a lot of cards in her deck, and she looked at you and was like, you're getting deported.
Maybe pass.
Where are you getting deported to? Like Scotland? Like where would you go?
Italy?
Norway?
Norway? Sweden? Where would you be being deported to?
But I will say, we went inside, stacks of these systems. There's so many Switch 2 systems were in like this one Best Buy where I went, and I assume it was the same for you, Sean, and anyone else who went out to see these things. So I was shocked. Pyramids of these things stacked up.
Yeah.
So not limited for supply. So when I see like Leo mention that they walked into Walmart at 5 p.m. on launch day without a pre-order and grab one, that doesn't surprise me. I think Nintendo shipped a lot of these things.
Dude, at the Nintendo store, oh my goodness, there were so many. Of course, there are going to be a lot. I mean, it's in San Francisco, but I mean, there was just a gang of them, man. It was pretty crazy, just to see how much. And that's good, man. Like, it's good to finally have a console launch where there's actual supply,
Yeah,
like to meet the demand and then some.
That's why I saw it. I said, this is actually good. It's not people are fighting over 10 of these things. There's enough that if you want to get one, for the most part, you can. So it's nice to have that. So anyway, now that we all have the Switch, we've gone through our stores picking it up. I mean, what do we think about this thing?
It's what I wanted. It's a better Switch. It's a better Switch. Games look better. Games run better. It's what I wanted. I don't know. All these people like, this is disappointing. It's very disappointing system. I wish they did something different. It's like, what do you want them to do? Like, what traditionally speaking, like PlayStation and Xbox, what do? They build upon what they have created from years ago. And it always works. It's that familiar face. They add in new features. They add in new this, that, or the other. They refine things, but it works. Nintendo's always kind of, been kind of like the weird kid with stuff. Sometimes they deviate from the course. But if you're the most successful, what will probably be the most successful selling system of all time when it's all said and done, why would you go back to the drawing board and just be like, you know what, we got to do something completely different? And what would you actually do? What can be done in terms of hardware that would be completely different? So I don't know. All the people that bitched about, and rightfully so, might I say, they bitched because there was problems with tons of games and performance issues and stuff. Like, I get it, like, yes, 100%. But all the people that complained about those things should be happy now that a lot of those problems have been rectified. But they're the ones that are like, well, it's just a Switch Pro. I really wish they would have done something different. It's like, okay, pal. And if they would have done something different, you would probably be saying, "Oh man, they really should have stuck with that Switch thing. That was pretty cool. They could have just made a better one."
Yeah, I think if we had let's say they did do a Switch Pro a couple of years ago or something like that, then this would feel kind of redundant.
100%. 100%.
We never got the Switch Pro, so to me, it's like, let's get that more powerful Switch out there before you start getting weird with stuff. Okay, let's just make that happen, and that's what they did.
Yeah. We all played the Switch. We all watched MVG's video, what he said about the Switch OLED when that came out and how it should have been maybe a bit better. We all wanted something that can be able to run these Switch 1 games better and actually start out better from the beginning. So as someone who also had the same complaints when it comes to some of the stuff like obviously stuff like Pokemon and things like Hyrule Warriors and so many other games that just ran bad or terrible. And now we actually have that fixed, plus the games that they're actually releasing now are also starting out looking good and not running like in low frame rates and things like that. So for me, yeah, I saw all the complaints. Obviously, I cover Nintendo a lot, and like I said, legitimate, like Sean says, and that's what I wanted. I wanted Switch, but significantly better. I wanted backwards compatibility. I wanted maybe a bit more third-party games here and there, and that's what we got. So that's what I wanted, and yeah, it's here and it's good. I mean, I think that making a whole different thing, that would have been a bad idea, because if it doesn't pop off, then what? Like what if what if that thing doesn't end up doing well?
And I mean, realistically speaking, what could they have done? Like, what would it have been? Really, like, what's the major innovation?
Yeah, I mean, you could. There's
VR
always something.
headset.
Yeah, like you could. That's what some people were saying, that maybe there's some type of VR thing, but I think that you can do that separate. I think that there's no need to jeopardize the system itself being some type of crazy gimmick when you can build that into the peripherals. Like you can do Labo. Labo failed, right? It ended up not doing quite as well as they would have wanted to do, but it doesn't matter because it's not the actual system, So, or
imagine
how about
cardboard system,
like, or what about Ring Fit? Ring Fit, oh, that was successful, but it's not the actual, it's not like the ring is built into the system. You have to buy like the Ring Fit. So everything's separate. Everything is like, you can innovate, or you can do crazy different things through the software. You can try peripherals. You don't have to make the system itself some type of, oh, look at this crazy thing, that we're doing here, in my opinion, at least, because you already have 150 million selling system. You already have something people love. There's no reason to sit there and jeopardize that, man, like to do something crazy. At least that's just my thought process. And, the system's good from what we're all playing. It's a good system. So yeah.
Hey, how you feel about this, MVG? With, I mean, you went through all the hurdles with the Switch 1, just even creating games for it, but also making videos where you'd analyze some of these games and try to figure out what the hang up is. What do you think about this piece of hardware from Nintendo?
I agree with you guys. I mean, it really effectively is just a 2025 Switch, and it's kind of a hardware upgrade that we've all really been wanting to see. So I'm pretty satisfied with the hardware overall. I think it's good, powerful enough. It feels like a premium kind of product. Like it's not cheap, right? It's $450, $499 for the bundle, but when you take it out of the box for the first time and you kind of put it all together, you notice that it feels really solid. It's heavier. It's it's got a bigger screen, and overall, look, I'm pretty satisfied with it, John. I think it has enough power under the hood. I like it. I know we're going to talk about the game, so I don't really want to talk about that at this point. But first impressions were great, and look, I think the system is fantastic. I'm very happy with it. Is it perfect? No, there's definitely some things I would like to see. Like the HDR implementation, John, isn't the best. I will say it's all right, but it's not the best. And honestly, I think the OLED screen on the Switch OLED is still preferred for me personally, but that's a revision. That's a revision probably in a couple of years from now, right? That will get rectified.
Probably.
So I think the issues that I have with the Switch 2 right now, they're pretty minor, and I think all of them will get addressed in due course anyway. So look, I like the system quite a lot, actually. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, the HDR thing is interesting because I know in portable mode is the one that everyone's going to experience that HDR kind of the same way, because it's not who's hooking up to an OLED that's $3,000, who's hooking up to the $500 TV or what have you. But what I noticed is with the handheld mode, you have to basically crank the brightness to 100% to try to get any kind of HDR implementation that's noticeable. But then your battery life is shot at that point. It's going to get eaten up pretty quick. So it is, for that part, it is unfortunate for the HDR when it comes to the portable play. But in dock mode has been okay. I feel like I'm trying to think of how many games really support HDR outside of Mario Kart, and then some of these other, like Mario Odyssey does, where they added HDR. But I
know the Zelda games, the Switch 2 editions do, and a little bit of a nitpick, but it looks, the image quality with HDR looks a little washed out on those Zelda games. I'm not saying it's really bad, but it just needs a little bit more work. I feel like it just looks a little washed out for me, especially if you compare it to just the originals. But again, minor nitpicks. At this point, like I don't really have any issues other than just some small things here or there. Overall, it's a solid product.
Docked Cyberpunk has an HDR thing you can turn on.
Yep. Well. I honestly, I kind of just turn HDR off at this point. No, it also saves on battery life, and I don't know. I just kind of prefer without it.
I think the build of the system itself, so that's obviously been a talking point when it comes to the pricing around it at $450 for like the base console itself, the base unit. I actually think after using it and checking it out here for the past couple of days, actually that price point is about right. It's actually pretty good when you look all the way around it and what it comes with and everything and what it's able to do. Now I have like all the PC gaming handhelds at this point, like ranging up to the Lenovo, the ROG Ally X, like some of the higher price things in the market. This is built pretty well in terms of it's built different, like Sean would say. It's
baby.
I think the quality is way better than the Switch 1. And I know I'm comparing it to a 2017 device technically, like when it launched, which back then we got the Switch 1 and we're like, oh, this is pretty cool. It wasn't glaringly obvious now when you look at something like this or the other number of PC gaming handheld stuff that have come out that have kind of evolved on it. And some of the upgrades it's seen. I think this feels very modern and sleek and current. So I think the $450 on this right now is pretty good in terms of the value, just for the hardware.
Wait. PMOsh says it's not worth $400 though, John. So you can go fuck yourself.
Wow. It's not $400. It's $450.
PMOsh, I'm going to send you an invite. You can come on and replace John. Tired.
$450.
No. Listen. Hey, look, man. Everybody has different opinions in terms of what provides them, value and stuff like that. It's always going to be subjective, but you can only take a look. What John's doing, he's just taking a look at other stuff around it, right? And I think that's where you can get an actual objective comparison from. Like you just take a look at, okay, well, what do you get like when you buy a Steam Deck? Steam Deck is $400, right? It doesn't come with the dock. It's not quite as powerful, but it does other things. Some of the other PC handhelds, some of them are things like ROG Ally X. I think I saw an $800 price tag or something. I mean,
it's $800.
Yeah, 800. Some of them are up to even $1,000 now for some of these PC handhelds. So if you're just looking at like the whole scope, like we're looking at it from like a broad range, right? I think that's where you kind of look at it and say, okay, well, yeah, maybe for some people, for a lot of people, it's going to be worth that $450, or even if like, let's just say, it supports Switch 1 games. Now, they're still not completely 100% in terms of everything with the backwards compatibility, but it's still pretty good when it comes to most of the games. So you trade in your Switch or whatever the case is, right? People find a way to make it even a bit cheaper. I saw people, doing that as well. So GameStop people were doing that. So like, I get it though. Like I get what, some people are trying to say in terms of pricing, like 100%. Some people it's going to be different, so that's fair. But at the end of the day, like if you compare it objectively, to other systems out there, and like what you get, hybrid platform, it comes with the dock. You know, a lot of these other, you know, things don't come with the dock. You know, it comes with the dock, comes with 2 controllers, however you want to slice that, right? Or the 1 controller, but it comes like with 2 that you can pass to someone else. I think it's pretty solidly put together for that price of $450. I mean, that's just what I'm looking at. And you know, I had a Steam Deck OLED, and I had a ROG Ally for a day. So my more limited time experience with the other ones, but yeah, from what I've seen, I think it's actually not bad for $450 in my opinion, at least.
I think it's priced about right. I mean, look, $450 is a lot of money, but if you if you compare it to the Steam Deck OLED, ROG Ally, all those other handheld devices, it's about right. Price point for it. Now the question is it going to stay at that price point? Well, we'll have to see. But right now, I think it's good value for what you get.
Yeah, I think at this point, Nintendo should consider trying to get the price lower with like a light or something else years down the line, as they did with the Switch 1.
I think like a $350 light would be good, or something like that if they can get it to that.
I don't feel like we're going to do a light this generation. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like we're going bigger. We're not going smaller at this point. Again, I can't say that categorically, of course, but it seems like these handhelds are getting larger rather than getting smaller. So I'd be surprised, but it'd be cool to see a light edition.
Be on Gaming Leaks and Reddit in a few minutes. Switch developer thinks Nintendo is making a new, bigger Switch 2. Then someone will make a video on it.
Launching alongside new Banjo game.
They love me out there.
With Furukawa.
So shout out to Gaming Leaks and Rumors.
So what do you guys think about what about the Joy-Cons?
I like them. I like the magnets, man. I was a little skeptical the magnet thing was going to be good, but it's solidly built. I like it. Remember how the original Switch kind of had that bend? Some like the Joy-Cons, if you kind of put them in and you kind of held the Switch on one side, you could kind of bend it a little bit. This one has none of that. Like you can literally just hang it off your hand and it just works. So I like the sturdiness of it. I like the magnets. I like the way that you can take the Joy-Cons out and reattach them. It's good. Again, premium product. It feels like a premium product. I think they did a lot of work on the Joy-Cons.
What are you thinking over there, Sean?
I mean, so I'm using a little dog face right now because I didn't get a Pro controller. I like the little click off. Ooh. I think that's nice.
Wait a minute, what?
What?
You didn't get a Pro controller?
I forgot. It'll take me like 2 years and I'll get it.
Yeah, this is like a rerun of last time, right?
Yeah, with the Switch 1, Sean didn't get a Pro controller until like 2 years in or something.
Yeah, Sean, you got to get this. I know we're probably going to talk about it, but you got to get this Pro controller, man.
He'll do it in 2 years.
Okay. I like the mouse. The mouse is neat. It's kind of neat, Give me my fucking Mario Paint already. I know it's been 2 days, but I'm an impatient person. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. I do wish I could give you a complaint though. They should have textured the back of it. Okay. I would have liked a back texture on it. I feel like if your hands if your hands get a little clammy, I use the D brand little grips. It makes it much better, but the grip doesn't fit in the stupid.
Are you talking about like how the PlayStation 5 on the DualSense, they have like tiny little like microscopic like symbols and stuff on there, and it's kind of engraved almost. Like that.
Yeah, just a little grip on something.
Okay. Yeah, the magnets though are interesting because the thing that like the kids are the most fascinated with for this system are indeed the magnets and being able to just detach and reattach the controllers. They think it's the craziest thing. So when I realized that's like one of the big things Nintendo threw out there for branding, it makes sense now with how like people think it's magic. Like they don't get it. They don't really understand how it works. But it's just something funny. They'll sit there and try to detach and reattach them over and over again. What'd you think, OJ?
Yeah, I've used the Joy-Cons a bit. I like the fact that they're bigger because I have big hands. So they fit a bit better when I'm using them. So that's good. Overall, yeah, it's like the magnets are cool. They kind of clamp onto the system better than the than the rails for Switch 1. So that's good. And yeah, it's the Joy-Cons, but just they improved them. They're just a lot better. The HD Rumble in the Joy-Cons is significantly better than the Pro Controller, though, which I do like that. So if you're playing handheld mode, yeah, the Joy-Cons have good HD Rumble. It's improved over the Switch 1 HD Rumble as well. Still not quite up to the level of like a DualSense, at least from the games that they've showed so far, but still better than Switch 1. So that's good. So I enjoy that. But I mean, I use the Pro Controller more.
Yeah, what do you think of that Pro Controller real quick?
Yeah, the Pro Controller is the best controller I've ever used. You know, the best controller. I like the Switch 1 Pro Controller, but this one has a better feel to it. It has the back buttons on there that you can map them to, and it stays per each game. So like it's not like you have to do like a system-wide mapping. So that's really cool. And it works with Switch 1 and Switch 2 games. And the battery life is really good. The buttons feel, you know, good to press. And yeah, it has all the features of the Switch 1 Pro Controller, and you know, and it's better. It has also better HD Rumble too than Switch 1. So yeah, I really enjoy the Pro Controller. I think it's the best controller I've used. I would say PS5 controller if the PS5 controller had better battery life, but yeah, it's definitely a step above, and I really enjoy it. It's a bit pricey though. It is definitely a bit pricey, but I think it's, for me at least, it was worth it to play with the Pro Controller. Oh, and the smooth gliding stick, like the analog sticks.
They call them like glide sticks.
Yeah, dude, it's like there's like no friction. It's like super nice for like Mario Kart when you're drifting and stuff like that. It's really good for that. I mean, it's the same ones that are on the Joy-Cons, but man, it feels great to play some of the games. Like also like Switch 1 games too feel great to play.
The buttons are quiet, really quiet on as well, so you don't get as much clicking when you press it.
Exactly. Yeah, the buttons are super quiet too. So yeah, it's a super nice controller, man. I really like it.
I don't know the battery life I assume is the same. I charged it once so far and haven't charged it again. So
yeah. They said it's about 40 hours. So
okay, there you go. Yeah, basically the same then.
Yeah, it's the same.
All right, let's get into some of the games here. MVG, we want to do the backwards compatible stuff first, and then we'll talk about Mario Kart World or Sean's foray into Cyberpunk and other things after that. Because I gotta say, some of it sounds funny because it's a new system, but it's so interesting to see how some of these Switch 1 games behave with the Switch 2. Because I feel like we keep going around and finding new examples of interesting uses for the system. With I look at the library of Switch 1 games, it's massive. It's a serious like library of titles. There's a lot of good stuff in there, but man, like more than half of them really struggled. Like it was not great. I mean, some of them were bad enough to where I'm sure it like just had people drop the games and just move on. Yep. So with that in mind, what are you finding over there, MG? Because you've done one video, you might as well do another one because people are just throwing titles at you left and right.
I like the backward compatibility. It's it's definitely not perfect. There are some issues with it. I mean, there are definitely games that people have come back to me and said, hey, check this one out. It's not quite right. This one isn't right. But the great part is backward compatibility on the Switch 2 is a lot better than I thought it would be. Initially, I thought it was just going to be kind of like it's like on the PlayStation 5 with PS4 games where it's just a one-to-one kind of replica of just the title with really no enhancements. But on the Switch 2, as we've seen, it kind of takes advantage of some of the features of the Switch 2 hardware. So we get faster loading performance, which is huge. It's massive. Like some of the games that, take over like a minute and a half to load, some of them load in like 30 seconds or less, which is great. Obviously, performance frame rates can be enhanced as well. And you kind of get that organically out of the box for nothing. Like it's part of the hardware. One of the other great things that happens is because of the better processing abilities of the Switch 2, it means that a game that supports dynamic resolutions will basically lock at the highest dynamic resolution that has been assigned for the game. So if the game targets 1080p on dock mode and 720 in handheld, it's basically just going to lock at those resolutions. It's not gonna dip. So it's really good performance. A lot of games that we've tested, I know you guys have tested a bunch as well. A lot of people out there have been testing games too. There's an overarching kind of improvement almost across the board. Is it perfect? No. And there are a couple of, downsides to it. And I think the biggest one that people are noticing is there is no, a game that kind of has a lower resolution, and I'll use Xenoblade Chronicles 2, for example, in handheld mode. It still doesn't look quite good enough on the Switch 2 because it's really just kind of, making those imperfections look a little worse. A game like Bayonetta 3, which incidentally runs at a lock 60, which is phenomenal. I'd never thought that we would ever play Bayonetta 3 at a lock 60 frames per second on the Switch 2. I always felt like, yeah, it might be better, but I didn't think it would be a lock 60 experience. But I guess the downside is if you are playing Bayonetta 3 on handheld mode, it's only going to cap at 480p, which is the max resolution for that game in handheld mode. So it's not taking advantage of any type of internal resolution upscaling or anything like that, which, it's not the end of the world because we know that a lot of games are probably going to get Switch 2 edition updates anyway, which will hopefully address those issues. But look, I am generally surprised with the backward compatibility on Switch 2. It's very well done. It's not perfect, but very, very happy with it. I think, John, before the Switch 2 came out, I kind of felt like maybe I'll just keep the Switch 1 for Switch 1 games and kind of separate the games. But now I feel like I could almost put the Switch 1 in the cupboard and forget about it because this thing, while it doesn't run everything, it runs most things. It runs pretty much all the big games. It runs all the big games, right? And I don't know. I think I don't really feel like I need the Switch 1 anymore. I think the Switch 2 is kind of just going to replace all my games, including Switch 1 games. So back compat is great. I'll definitely be making more content on it. I think it's very interesting. People are still testing games. Look, there's like 15,000 plus Switch 1 titles out there. There are so many, right? And every day I think about new titles that I hadn't considered because, we're talking about 2018, 2019, pre-pandemic stuff that none of us really remember very well. So it's just been great kind of going back and testing games and just kind of putting them through its paces. And honestly, there are some games that I never really bothered playing on the Switch because I just felt like they didn't run well enough that now I'm thinking, when there's a deep discount or an eShop sale and some of these games, on sale for like $15 or $20, I may just pick them up and just play them on Switch 2 because, it's a much better, it's almost a transformative experience in some ways. But BC is really good. I'm very happy with it.
Real quick, MVG, can you just explain? Because I had somebody ask this question and I couldn't answer the question. What is the just basically the difference, like when it comes to like PS4, the backwards compatibility and what they do there?
The difference is it doesn't take advantage of the PS5 performance increases at all. So if you notice if you play a PS4 game that has an uncapped frame rate on the PS5, it's going to run better, but it's not really going to give you the same kind of benefits as back compat. So I'm not really sure how PlayStation 5 has done its kind of backward compatibility. It's almost like it's put it in some type of sandbox where it kind of emulates or replicates the entire features of the PS4 without really any benefit. So on the Switch 2, it's taking full advantage of the processing, the GPUs, the better storage capacity, the micro SD card. If you're using it on that, it kind of just takes advantage of more hardware features out of the box. So I think it's pretty good.
I do want to correct you on something, MVG.
Go ahead. I'm not suggesting I know everything. So
Mr. M, legend of the chat, he said that Bayonetta 1 was locked at 60, or Bayonetta 3 was locked at 60 on the Switch 1. So maybe.
Yeah. He must have a different Switch 1 than me because I have a OLED with overclocked hardware, and I still can't get a lock 60 on Bayonetta 3 in any shape or form. So
I played that game and I beat the game and I did the witch trials and I played a lot of that game. I think I put about 40 hours plus into that game. And while I enjoyed it, it is not run at 60 frames per second. I mean, it might hit that maybe in a pause menu or something like that, but it does not run at a locked 60 frames. We got to be honest here with ourselves, guys.
No, you're on drugs. See, we're all on drugs.
Listen, people accuse me of a lot of things, but there's two things I don't do. I don't be lying and shit, and I'm definitely not on drugs. So we got to be honest here, guys. That shit does not run at 60 locked, not even close.
I'm on your side. I'm on your side, Mr. Ab. You know this.
It is interesting because basically any of these games on the Switch 1 that are uncapped for frame rate, we're seeing it just basically run into 60 frames for the most part and just hold 60 the whole way. I mean, Sean's booting up some weird games. I'm buying stuff online just to test it for the channel, and it's like, we're playing some weird games, but it's just funny to see the titles that absolutely destroyed the Switch 1 just
Dude. You know what's
completely fixed by the Switch 2.
I would like there to be an update for 60, but now at this point, Hyrule Warriors is actually playable. And I played it. I thought it was fun, even with the issues. So now it's locked at 30 now, which is, once again, it still needs to be 60. That'd be better at 60. But man, there's certain places in that, it would get down to 15, 20, low 20s, 15, at certain points. It was so bad. But now it's actually playable. So if you wanted to play Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, sorry, I should say Age of Calamity, it runs so much better now, than what it did. So,
John, I think the only games that don't really, I mean, even these games see benefits, but the CPU bound games like the Dragon Quest Builders and the Minecrafts, the ones that have a lot of CPU processing, they won't see as much benefit because obviously the clock speeds on the Switch 2 on the CPU side, they're kind of roughly comparable to the Switch 1. But where you do see the benefit is better L1 cache, more L1 cache, L2 cache, better memory bandwidth. So even those games will still see benefit. But if you're expecting Dragon Quest Builders to run at 60 FPS, it's never going to happen. I don't even think it ran at 60 on the PS4 Pro. So there is, I think anything that's more CPU bound, but generally speaking, there's not really a lot of those games. But things like XCOM and those CPU intensive games where there's a lot going on, they don't see as much benefit. But the majority of games that are hamstrung by the GPU and memory bandwidth, even before you update Zelda, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, even though they're running it at 30, even those games see benefit, right? So it's an overarching improvement, for the most part. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm wondering because I assume Dragon Quest Builders 2 isn't getting any kind of patch like that, but Minecraft, I figure, is going to get a Switch 2 version.
It probably will. You'd think so. Because they're still updating that game, right?
Oh yeah.
So I think that's probably going to happen.
Yeah. So the backwards compatibility stuff has been very interesting to kind of visit and see what they have. Darksiders 3 is just one that I randomly fired. I was like, that is uncapped. Boom, just 60 across the board. No problem.
Oh, nice. Darksiders 3. Okay.
Yeah. It's just fully 60. Even Darksiders 1, the War Mastered edition, it has a quality and a performance. The quality caps it at 30, and the performance is we'll just destroy the resolution to get it to 60. But the resolution doesn't have to drop with the Switch 2. So it just sits at 60 at a pretty good resolution for it. And these are ones without patches. That's just how it was on the Switch. So I'd like to see some of the, I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe some will, because maybe they'll see some kind of opportunity as, hey, we can pair this when we have it on sale on a discount on the shop. Hey, we're going to push this little patch that just uncaps it from 30. And now this game can run at 60 and it's on sale for 50% off or something on the shop. Something like that. So, and there are a number of games that are just locked at 30 on the Switch right now.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yep. I tested that one. I tested that one. That's a good one. And that could easily see 60 FPS. I have no doubt. So that'd be cool to see.
Tune in tomorrow forever.
I was going to give Sean a shout out. Tune in.
I got a video going up tomorrow to some choice cuts.
Sean picked that one. I picked a different one that Sean is not covering, and I had to actually buy the game to do it. So he's doing WWE.
Which is funny because I owned the game and I could have done.
I know. That's the funny part. But there you go. I did try out there's a game share feature as well. I tried this out with Fast Fusion. I tried it with MVG over Game Chat. Didn't go well, but I tried it here locally with a Switch 1, and it worked better than I thought it would. And that was where you can stream the game almost like Wii U status sort of to the Switch 1 with Fast Fusion, and you can do 2 players right there locally.
That's a thing.
And it was actually, see,
Yeah.
it was kind of cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just on the back compat video, did you guys? You just have to say yes or no. Did you guys test Alan Wake at all?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
Sean did.
I will tune in tomorrow.
We were trying to find games that they said had issue and wouldn't boot up or something weird was going on with it. So we were trying to fire those up and see what would happen. And Sean got Alan Wake, so I think
I had it. I had it from I bought it when it came out.
Yep. Oh, look, there it is. Yeah, Wonderful 101 is 60 now.
Oh yeah, that's a good test as well.
Nice,
the game that
cool.
Is kind of on the list of games is Borderlands 3 that has issues. If they can figure that out, 60 frames. I had a great time playing Borderlands 3, except there's all sorts of weird tearing issues and glitches and stuff. Like I said, BC is not perfect, and as people start testing more games, more things are going to come up. But the great part is Nintendo has opted for this solution. And like, OJ was saying, Switch 3, in like 7 or 8 years from now, whatever, it's unlikely they're going to move away from this hybrid system, and it's unlikely they're going to move away from using NVIDIA, chipset and all that. So now that they have the stake in the ground today, this is only going to get better over time. So, it's great. And I'll be honest, I was a little skeptical about the BC stuff, how good it was going to perform before the system came out. All sorts of questions, because this is the first time that they've really opted to do this. To do this, normally they have the hardware on the motherboard, as they've had in the past. But man, it works. It works pretty good. So it's only going to get better from here.
So you're basically confirming in 7 to 8 years the Switch 3 is going to come out. Gaming leaks in Reddit, rumors Reddit. There we go. Get on it now.
Probably, man. I mean, I think this is kind of like, they might do something crazy. This is kind of like the final form. I mean, like, there's really
seems like it.
Yeah, it's because like it's like a cell phone. Like there hasn't been. I mean, we've had iPads, we've had other stuff, but at the end of the day, a cell phone's a cell phone. It's kind of like what it is, and that's what you would want. You want a cell phone. So I kind of see it like that. Like I don't really see them doing something too crazy or different. I mean, they might try something else, but I think their main thing is going to be, like, oh, you can play games anywhere, and then we'll just build on top of that. That's what it seems like to me. That seems like the right option.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet run fine now. So
yeah,
there you go.
Tested.
You've been wondering. There you go.
I tested a lot of that. The game still, the graphics are still not good.
Oh, it's hilarious still. Yeah.
Yeah. It actually kind of highlights it even a little bit more because of how clear it looks. And they're still popping. They did improve the draw distance a little bit, but it's better. But the pop-in is still kind of like, it just pops in down in 60 frames instead of it being like, choppy pop-in. But it is actually like playable now. Like I actually had to stop playing the DLC because I couldn't take it anymore. So now I can actually finish the DLC. Loading times are way faster. Everything loads quicker. Like when you go to like do raid battles, loading to the different menu, like different options on there, way faster. It's just significantly better. So that's good.
Let's talk about some of the games, the newer titles that are out. Mario Kart World being the biggest one. Sean, did you want to run down any of the other games though? Because you've been rifling through these things.
Hey, someone's got to do it. Street Fighter 6, really good port. It does have, how like Mortal Kombat had weird hair on Switch 1. There is some weird hair. I don't know. It has to be like some sort of graphical setting that's in like certain games. When you're in the World Tour mode, which I don't really play that, like it's fine, the little RPG mode where you can level up your character and stuff, and like it's kind of a story. Like it's fine, it's decent, but like the actual game is a really good port. What else have I played? I'm playing Sonic right now, Sonic Generations. I'm capturing footage for this. I have not played the Shadow stuff yet. I'm just doing some of the standard Sonic stuff. Looks great, 60 frames per second, nice and smooth. Did you want to talk about Cyberpunk separately, or do you want me just to rifle through that too?
Let's hear Cyberpunk.
I played Cyberpunk
let's
as
hear
well.
too, yeah.
I played it as well.
I played it originally on the Xbox One S when it first came out, and yeah, I know. But remember, I was wrong for daring to question the console versions. But obviously, it was a piece of shit. But they have improved the game substantially. Is it as good as looking as the PS5 or the Xbox Series X version? No, like it's not. But I still think it's like I've done some very hairy stuff, big shootouts and crap like that, and it's been solid throughout. I've seen some clips of like weird driving stuff. I can't really comment too much on the Phantom Liberty portion because I didn't really play it. Like I messed around with it for like a half hour, but I didn't really cover it in my video. But I mean, just watch my video. Like look at the footage. It's captured at 1080 60, and obviously it doesn't make a difference because it's only running at 30. But I mean, you kind of see if it's something that would interest you. Like it's kind of a unique game for the Switch too, because there's not many games kind of like that on the system, but I think it's pretty solid. It's solid. It's very solid.
All right. What do you think? What do you think, OJ?
Yeah, I'm not first person, so I'm not a first person player. Like I still don't like that, but I just wanted to test it out because it is, one of the bigger, like graphically intense games. And yeah, it ran okay from what I saw. I did the performance mode on there, and it seemed to run better than the quality mode.
I heard from Cyberpunk expert Super Metal Dave, because evidently he's like a big Cyberpunk fan. He like plays it like maxed out on PC and shit. He said that he recommended that I do quality mode because I hopped in his chat when he was fucking around with it, and I hadn't started it yet. And he did it on launch night. And he said that the performance mode gets 40 indoors, but when you go outdoors, it gets really kind of wonky. And he said that the quality mode just stays at 30 the entire time. So it feels a bit like, even though it's not 40, so you would think it would feel jankier, it feels better because when you're going in and out of areas, it just feels smoother because you're not seeing that dip in anything. And that's how that's what I played. Everything I've played so far, I'm like 10, 11 hours now into the game, has been in quality mode. And yeah, like it's been.
Is that the same for handheld? Because I think what he's saying might be correct. Because in docked, I felt that maybe a bit, like when it comes to like the indoor buildings compared to outdoor. But handheld, it seemed like maybe I didn't notice that as much.
I did not mess around with handheld too much on this.
Okay, yeah. I got
a new monitor, so I've been fucking around.
Oh, what'd you get? I got a new monitor too. I got an MSI, the OLED MSI.
Okay, okay. Come on, this is me here, Captain Cheapo. I got it's a 4K 120 hertz HDR 27-inch monitor.
That's good. That's not bad.
To Dell.
That's good.
Dude, getting a Dell? It was like $300 on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going crazy, but
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I have the nice TV, but it's fine. It's actually pretty good. You got to remember. So when I moved here a couple of years ago, I had a 2-monitor setup, and the one thing that I brought in my car were the monitors because I didn't want I hired movers and I didn't want them to like mess with anything. And my second monitor broke. So I went and got I think that's I don't know. It's got like a Safari looking thing. It's literally like a $70 monitor as my second monitor. It's like 1920, maybe 60 hertz on a good day. And I've been using that ever since I've been here. And I was like, you know what? I need a better monitor down here. I need something decent. So that's why I bought that. And then I was like, well, the new system, I might as well get something decent. And yeah, it's a quality monitor. I'm enjoying it.
It's good. Yeah. My MSI is a little bit better.
Yeah. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it was more expensive too. Like
yeah, it was too much. It was too much. But either way, I wanted to get it for it. I was still using that monitor. John, do you remember that monitor that you told me to get a few years ago? I don't know.
The Gigabyte monitor.
Yeah. I was still using that one, and it was going it would go like blank every like 20 minutes or so. I don't know what I did to it or something. So I just decided to go ahead and just bite the bullet and get a new one. And yeah, the games look great on here. It looks really good on the OLED MSI monitor that I got. It's 27 inches. So yeah, but yeah, I've been playing in handheld mode to get back to Cyberpunk. I've been playing in handheld mode, and I noticed that it's just like a little bit smoother at times, like when the performance maybe than docked. But like I said, I still need to do more testing. I don't have like the Digital Foundry hooked up stuff and all that. So what Sean's saying, along with Mr. Soul Metal Dave, I think that's also could be completely correct too as well.
All right, MG, what do you got for us?
Well, I freaking hate Cyberpunk. I don't like this game, and I tried to use
I feel you, man. I'm not a huge fan. I feel you.
Every part of me to not buy this game, but for science and for testing purposes, just like everyone else, I picked it up. Look, I think it's good. Like, you guys have kind of nailed it with your analysis. It is it's a very ambitious port, but it works. At the end of the day, it works. I am running the Phantom Liberty because I just went straight to that because I've heard that that's a lot more demanding, and that is the DLC that was not on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. So I thought I'd give it a try. I heard conflicting stories that it was running choppy and all sorts of stuff. It runs fine, but you mentioned, Sean, try the quality mode. I've been running it strictly in performance mode, so now I'm thinking I need to check out that quality mode, because while it does kind of hit 40, it's kind of all over the place, but it's still very playable. It looks great. It almost looks as good as the PS5 base version for me. But look, overall, the fact that you're playing Cyberpunk on this, this handheld hybrid device is quite astounding to think about. So look, overall, again, I don't like the game, but I'm very happy that it's on the Switch too. I think fans will really like it.
Because they've changed a lot. Because I remember, like, this is how long ago I played it, and Wood and I we were talking about it last night. Like, the cops wouldn't chase you in cars and stuff.
It's substantially. They've done some big updates, Sean. They had like a big update 2.0 alongside of Phantom Liberty, where I don't want to say changed the whole game. They changed a significant portion of it, though. Like, they added all kinds of classes and attributes and stuff for your characters, and almost like full storyline. A lot's changed since when we played it way back when it came out, and it was a whole like scandal just about. It's way different now.
Yeah,
so
I noticed that too, because I played the game on the PS5 at first back in the day. I got a review code for it. I bought the game on Xbox but never played it on there, at least not enough. So my experience was just on PS5, where it ran okay, but the game just to me just wasn't. I didn't really have too much fun. And once again, I'm not huge on the game now either. But it's cool to have it portable. For those
it sounds like kind of sounds like, Sean, you might be enjoying the game.
No, I am. I never thought. I never said I hated the game, John.
You just got really mad at it because it halted your progress with a bug.
Yes, but then evidently I've played it since then, because I'm remembering stuff happening in the game, and I'm like, when I know what this is, I know what to do here. Why do I know this? So who the hell knows? But no, I was annoyed that just they never showed any footage of the game running on a console back in the day. That was my whole beef with it. I did also play Ridge Racer.
Ridge Racer, yes.
Yep.
Fast Racing Fusion.
Yeah, I got that one too. I got that one.
Great,
good game.
Great tech demo.
Yep, that's what I was about to say. I mean, it's only $15.
Yeah, I'm not knocking it right for the price, but like I played for like an hour. I did a bunch of gameplay captures, 4K 60, all that stuff. I'm like, this is a cool tech demo. I like it, but I don't think I'll get back to it anytime soon.
Fast Racing's pretty much become a staple for each Nintendo system that comes out since the Wii at this point.
Yeah.
So it's like pretty much got to get it then. $15. Yeah. Why not? It's fun. It's kind of like that Wipeout F-Zero kind of experience. So this is pretty good. Okay. Mario Kart World.
Oh, wait. I also owed Yakuza, but I haven't.
How's Yakuza 0? How's that game?
I haven't played it yet. Someone told me it was really good though. Jasmine. DM.
Oh, well, just in general, it's a good game. So I'm actually curious. You might just like that game, just outright.
I probably will.
Yeah. Beat the hell out of things. It's like a RPG brawler type of game.
Yeah, but I'm curious how it does, how it looks on the. You'll let me know on the Switch too how it looks and runs and everything. I'm interested.
I might let you know. I'll see if I can fit it in my schedule.
We'll see. Mario Kart World though. All right. The big one, the big launch title from Nintendo. It's packaged in with, I assume most people who got the system probably opted for the bundle if it was available. Not everyone had access to it because some places it just sold out. But if you were able to, I know the game was $50, but it is retailing at $80. So that's kind of the pricing that everyone sort of goes with when they equate the value of the game to it, like in terms of the content and everything. So I've been playing Mario Kart World on and off, and actually today we probably played the longest game session with the kids and everything. We're going through a lot of the Grand Prix modes and stuff, and we did get to the point where we got to the credits, which doesn't take long. It's you just go through each cup and there you go, you got it. So I did all that, did the free roam. Of course, we even did that online a little bit to try it out. Did some of the battle knockout. I've done a fair amount of it then. How much of you guys had a chance to play a good bit of it then, I assume?
Yeah, I've been playing a ton of it.
I've played maybe about 8 hours or so far.
Oh yeah.
Which by the way, it's probably the most I've ever played on a Mario Kart game. So I love the game. I'm hooked. Like my favorite Mario Kart game is probably 64 and Double Dash way back in the day. I never really bothered with Mario Kart after that. I was just a casual Mario Kart player. Like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I played, maybe for a few days and then I just put it to the side. But there's something about this game that I just really, really like. I think just the variety of the game, the exploration aspect of it is really cool. Look, I'm really into it. I'm enjoying it a lot right now. Again, I don't know if it's perfect. There's definitely some things that I wish they had in the game, like the 200cc mode would be awesome. I don't know why they don't have that. Maybe it'll be in an update later on, but I'm enjoying it a lot. I mean, we were playing the other night with you guys, just the exploration part where you just kind of drive around. I was just having so much fun doing that. It was really awesome.
The free roam, yeah. The free roam is cool because it's just kind of like laid back mode where you just drive around and find stuff. It does feel kind of empty at times when you're driving between like points of interest. Like it's kind of an open field. You just drive, which I guess it's kind of what they advertise. It also felt like, is there something more to this mode than they're letting on? Remind me a bit of the Death Stranding thing. Is there more here to this game than what they're saying? Nah, not really. It's kind of what it is. I guess when you find the P blocks and stuff and you go through some of those are kind of challenging. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be driving this straight line and get the coins and you're done. And some of them are like flip between these walls and gosh,
to the window, to the wall.
Yeah,
the window to the wall.
But I did, like I said, I went through all the Grand Prix. They have like the final cup and stuff, not spoiling it, but I will say the last course was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool callback. And I mean, people are probably already guessing what it was, but it was pretty awesome. Like it was actually a really cool track. But what do you think about it so far, OJ?
Yeah, I'm probably the biggest Mario Kart fan here just because I have a community we all play a lot, and I've been playing since day one. Mario Kart was one of the first games that I played on the Super Nintendo, and that's probably the game that I put the most between Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. Usually with the Nintendo systems, between one of those two, where I put the most time into. So definitely had a lot of high expectations for this, especially for the $80 price tag. Can't say if it's hit all of that overall, but I do like the game more than Mario Kart 8. But a little bit weird on that because I've been playing that for 11 years, so I'm just kind of tired of that game, and it's just good to be able to play something different and that feels fresh. The physics feel a bit more loose compared to Mario Kart 8. And the carts and just how everything operates just feels definitely a bit different overall. The open world, definitely not like as dense as you would like. Maybe more P missions would be good, although there is a lot of them. But I do think in the future they could add extra ones or add extra stuff into that. I think that the knockout tour is like the star of the show.
I love that mode. That mode's awesome.
Yeah, it's so good because it really intensifies. And if you play the free roam, it helps you practice all of your stuff. Helps you practice shortcuts. Helps you practice how to drive, how to do your charge. Like there's like a new charge jump, which is super cool that you can like wall ride and get like a speed boost. There's the grinding. So there's even like more tech into the game than there was for Mario Kart 8. So that's what I really love about it, is the physics, the new moves, the actual just open-ended areas, and 24 racers just makes it even crazier. overall, which is fun. That's what makes Mario Kart fun. But the knockout tour, it wouldn't work if it was only 12 people, because it would be over before it even started, or you'd have to just drop by, like get 12th place or get 11th place, right? So it wouldn't work as well. So I really love the knockout tour. The teams of 4, if you can get like groups of 4, 4v4 and all that stuff's awesome as well. And the game runs and looks great too. So I mean, Mario Kart usually runs and looks great on most of the platforms that it's on, but this is definitely a nice bump up from, in my opinion, at least from what I'm seeing. And the art style a bit more round, a bit more not so sharp, and I kind of like that. I think it fits more of like the Mario style, and the music is crazy good. Do I have a complaint?
Yes, S-tier music.
Yes, there's remixes of like everything. So if you've played past Mario games, like they've got stuff from Mario 3, they've got stuff from different, the 2D games as well, like other 2D games. Like it's so good. But there's no jukebox. Like that's another complaint. Like I wish that you could pick the tracks in the free roam mode. That would be nice if you can be able to.
That actually be kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and like if it showed like a little like said, oh, here's the name of the track. Like when it starts up, they don't do that.
Oh,
so
okay.
if they allowed you to do that, that would be nice as well. But yeah, outside of that complaint overall, I mean, and some of the free roam stuff, I'm really, really enjoying the game. And I see myself actually getting a bit more competitive into like the racing. So I've already done online. I've been racing a lot, just like doing like the ranking mode. Been doing knockout tour. Haven't won yet, gotten close, but haven't really won anything. There's already really good players online. But yeah, I see myself playing this for the whole generation, like I played Mario Kart 8. So yeah, really enjoying it.
I see it as like it's a high quality game that like in terms of just the what they're turning in here, but it is a game that I feel like I'm gonna probably end up with 15-20 hours in and then just kind of move on after that. So
really, you're not gonna fuck around with the online?
I mean, I'll play some of the online, but I feel like I'm not going to be playing the online multiplayer like competitive for like years or anything.
I've been playing Knockout. I like it. I think I'm going to put more hours into this one than any other Mario Kart, except for 64 and Super Mario Kart, because I played those games to death back in the day.
I think it'll be a popular living room game here. I just have it out there with the kids wanting to play it because they had a good time with it. But
and look, Mario Kart's not for everyone when it comes to like the gameplay in terms of online and stuff like that. Not everyone's gonna love it as much as other people. Your mileage is definitely gonna vary on that. I mean, for me, that type of game would be like Animal Crossing. People will put 1 million hours into Animal Crossing. I don't put tons of time into Animal Crossing, right? So it is definitely gonna vary depending on person to person. But I mean, if you could be like MVG though and not really play the most recent Mario Kart games, but love this one. But it's just something about the feel of the game. It just feels far better to play. Just feels tighter. The controls feel really good to play the karts. And also the water physics is fantastic. Before I used to go into the water, like underwater, and like it was okay, but there wasn't really anything outside of, oh, look at the scenery. But now you actually like jet ski, kind of like wave race. So that is a very nice touch.
I want a wave race game now after I've seen this.
Yeah, exactly. We all want wave race
get a bunch
now,
of people into a room and play some Mario Kart, see how it goes.
No, you said you're done. You said you're done playing it.
I think if Mario Kart World was an attempt to kind of bring in more casual Mario Kart players and get them hooked, they succeeded because I like it. Now, I will say this. I still don't think it's worth $80. Controversial maybe, but I don't think there's enough in there for an $80 game. I think all of us probably just got the $50 or the $50 bundle. I don't think I would pay $80 for the game personally, but I do like the game a lot.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think if people are really into Mario Kart, they're going to spend $80 on it. But again, it was there in the bundle, and hopefully most people are able to get that and just save money on it. But
yeah, completely fair, MVG. When it comes to that, I agree with the assessment. It's going to definitely be, for some people, it'll be worth it. For others, it might not, because I mean, maybe if they would have added, like, let's say, I think the only way that it could have been is if the free roam mode was a bit more fleshed out, like right now. Like maybe in the future it could be, but right now I can definitely understand that, because the free roam mode is okay, but there's still some stuff missing when it comes to like quality of life features, like I talked about with the music jukebox, like being able to pick maybe more stuff to do, P missions, other stuff like that. Still great, but still, yeah, absolutely, it would have been, maybe in the future it might be worth that, but right now I can definitely see people being like, a lot of people being like, maybe not for me. But yeah, if you're gonna put like, I don't know, like 300 hours into the game, then yeah, you're either going to get it in the bundle or you're just buy it or whatever, you know?
I did buy the physical. I did. There's a video. You can watch me cut it open right now. It's up.
They use a 32 gigabyte cartridge for it, or what?
Nah, it's a 64 gig.
What? There's only one cartridge size?
Yeah, well, at least the ones I opened there were. Well, there's that in the game key. That's all I found.
Interesting.
You should cut open the Sonic Generations one you have. See if that's what that game key says.
No. I'd have to tape it back together or glue it or something. I don't know how to do that shit.
Yeah, you got to glue it. I have to glue them back together.
Oh. Yeah, I'll pass. I'll let you do that. I'll let you do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Let me do that. It's fine. It's already done.
Yeah.
It's up.
It's all you, John.
It's up. Okay, so let's move to this actually with the Switch 2 before we go into some of the like state of play and Game Fest and everything. Okay. I will admit, going into the Switch 2, I was unsure as to this feature and how well it would actually work. Okay, I was, because it was so funny to see Nintendo hyping this up. I'm like, I don't know, is this really going to be that kind of an experience? And then we get the system, we try it out, and in terms of voice communication and functionality and ease of use and convenience, it's probably at the top, and that's game chat. And that's so weird to say.
You're not wrong.
Furukawa was built different, baby. He said we need to make game chat a priority here.
I can't believe this. Yeah, we fired it up. I was like, all right, let's see how this does. Because in my mind, I said, let's put in the worst possible scenario. I'm going to have the Switch 2 in the dock, 7 or 8 feet away from me. I'll just be sitting in the room. It has a microphone right on top. Let's see how it does. And I can't believe it, but it actually picks up pretty well. It eliminates background noise. And you really don't need a headset or anything. Now, keep in mind, everyone else in the room is going to be a participant with game chat then, if that's the case. So understand that. But if it's just you hanging out in your room and you don't mind if people can hear, like, I guess people in your house around you or whatever can hear what's coming through the TV, it's actually pretty good. It's pretty easy to use.
Very surprising feature. I thought, again, something that I never really felt like I'd be interested in. And Nintendo didn't I mean, they did at their events, you know, they had some, you know, demos and stuff of it, but we didn't really get to see much of it before the launch of the Switch 2. So I kind of felt like game chat would be a feature that I just would completely ignore, that it had nothing really that was interesting to me. And I just kind of felt like, well, it's probably going to be a very, very basic version of online communication with voice and video and stuff like that. But John's right. It's excellent. Like the three of us the other night, I was just sitting on my couch in my living room, had the Switch 2 in my hand in handheld mode, and we're just chatting. And the great part is you don't get that echo of the game that's actually playing going through the voice communication.
We have that problem with Xbox.
We have that problem with Xbox all the time. So the way I have to fix it is to mute my television while I got my headset on and all the audio is going through the headset, in order to not, you know, cause that echo thing. But with this, it's flawless. Like you just connect up and you just start talking. It works really well, a lot better than I thought it did. It's a great feature, and it's kind of sold me on it. Like we love using it, so I think we've kind of agreed that we're going to continue using it from now on. It's awesome. Like I want Call of Duty on Switch 2 because I'd rather use game chat than Xbox and a headset at this point. So I like it.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, it's cool. Oh, it's got cool features.
Oh boy, here it comes. Yep, go ahead.
Text to speech and speech to text. So like you can go to accessibilities and you can use speech to text, and it'll like make a text bar on the left hand side, or you could type things in and a little voice will come on and say it, and there is no censorship. You can say any word that your mind can think of. You could say any phrase that your mind can think of. You could say anything your heart desires.
Why are you saying this before they patch it, dude?
Like, this is how you lose. This is how you lose this.
Yeah,
just be quiet.
Take it away.
No, Go Nintendo wrote an article on it, and that's how I saw it.
I don't care if they did. Just don't say anything. People always want to brag about cool shit, and then it gets taken away. Then you bitch. Let's just be quiet, please.
It's so good.
The other thing with it though is it will like live like do captions for people as they're talking. So
and it's
it's
really
better than you'd
fast.
expect.
It's dude. I would say the captions that it does are more accurate than if you do like closed captions on YouTube.
Yeah, it'll even like capitalize, like if you say Xbox, it'll capitalize the X. If you say PlayStation, it'll capitalize the S halfway through PlayStation. So it's again surprising. This is the thing where I was like, oh, okay, Nintendo. All right, here we go with game chat. And at least from the voice, I'd say the voice perspective is good. The video quality when it comes to the cameras are iffy. I think it depends on the camera you're using, I guess, because Sean's random Logitech one is better than the official Nintendo one. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah, I plugged in because I didn't buy any of the cameras, and John and I were testing it out, and I just plugged in the camera I'm using right now, which is a USB cam, into the dock, and worked fine. I didn't have to do anything.
And then the other thing people were asking about was the screen share feature, where you can just show people your screen. It does indeed run at like 15 frames or whatever. Yeah. So it's very choppy looking. I guess the idea is, hey, let me show you this real quick on the screen, and here it is. And you can have everybody's screen going at once. Up to 4 people, I believe, can screen share at once. And it's comical because like you're not really going to get a lot in motion from this stuff. I guess that was just the idea of, hey, I can just show this to you if it's a secret or something you found, I guess.
Yeah, but see, if Warzone comes out for the Switch 2, we can all share our screens and we can see what's going on each person's screen. We can help each other out.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't consider that.
Dude, I think that's why they have it. I mean, right now it's more for the party games, the Mario Party and all that stuff, but there's some good use cases for this.
It's funny because this was a Stadia feature that I don't think they added before it crashed.
People leave Stadia alone. Stadia was ahead of its time, and no one wants to admit it.
You can use it in Mario Kart, and John's stupid face was like dragging around on the course. I was like, look at this fucking guy. This is this circle of his face is driving around. Like, what the fuck?
I had the kids use your camera, and it'll grab like people's faces from the room and put them over their carts, and then I go flying past Sean. He said like my face is there looking.
It made me laugh so hard.
It does work with Switch 1 games. So if you're just moving around on your Switch 2 and you go to a Switch 1 game while you're in game chat with other people, they can pretty much play whatever they want. Whatever you're playing, it'll all be there next to it. The thing it will block out though is if you go to your settings, because you could have like your MAC address or something there. If you go to the eShop, and it seems like some cutscenes or I don't know, whatever a company deems as copyright or something in like the intro for a game where it shows, I think, companies or developers or whatever, that seems to be blocked out. It's mostly stuff that could end up being sensitive for payment processing, though, that they block out, which I will say kind of unfortunate, because if I go to the eShop and I'm just kind of scrolling through because it's not terrible anymore, and I find something there, I wouldn't mind being able to screen share that. Just like, hey, look at this game that I found, you know?
I mean, why don't you just take a picture of it, though, or something?
I mean, then that kind of then just defeats the entire game chat thing in the first place then.
I'm not taking any game suggestions from you, John. Screw you.
Yeah, you're with your fucking Star Wars doo-doo ass games that you made me buy.
Oh, that's another good test for BC. Interesting.
John tried one of them. Republic Commando, I think he did.
Yeah,
what
that's
about
60.
the Jedi Knight games?
Those were already decent enough, I thought those were already 60. I can check. I mean, I have them.
Or were they? I have to check now.
Jedi Academy was the one that was more stressing, so that's the one I'd look at first just to see. Jedi Outcast, though, I feel like that was just 60 on the Switch. It's a good game, though. People were slandering Jedi Outcast.
Yeah, because it sucks.
Shame yourself.
2 is good.
2 is good, but that needs a remake or something. That needs help. It's like stuck on like old PC days, like old PC days. But that's I guess those are like our first real impressions of the Switch 2 at this point for a couple of days now. So we'll see as we go along. Anything else we figure out or find out, I guess, as we play it. There were some super chats that came in. I have a list of Summer Game Fest and State of Play as well that we can just kind of go through. Let's see. Here we go. Zuck says, do we lose Switch 1 version of Breath of the Wild if we upgrade? When I upgraded mine, yes. Okay. Yep. It turned it into Switch 2 edition. My
understanding is you can only have one or the other. You can't have both. So if you do the upgrade, that's what you get. And that's that.
Metro says $80 for no 200cc is an absolute joke. People really want this 200cc.
I don't think that's the reason why it's not. Where it wouldn't be because of that. It's other things, not 200cc. In my opinion,
it's $80. That's a lot of money.
I mean, like I said, it'd be more like the free roam and some of the other stuff.
Casual Gamer says, need Dreamcast guy takes on Switch 2. Can RGT do the Dreamcast guy call?
The Nintendo Switch 2. I don't know. It's hard to kind of do, Max. What's up, gamers? Dreamcast guy here. Talking today about the Nintendo Switch 2.
Cristobal says, the Wii had Netflix, Switch 1 had YouTube and Hulu apps. Does anyone know if Switch 2 will have any of these apps? Keep up the great pods, everyone.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's been announced
YouTube,
that YouTube.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
YouTube's doing it. They'll have one soon.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Zoop says, I got the Switch 1 to play Crest of Flames game and Residents of the Green Man game. Should I wait as long for Switch 2? Why or why not?
I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I have no idea. What is he talking about?
Let's say in terms of just Switch 2, what I would do right now is just look at the games that are out, like Mario Kart and stuff, and if it's something that appeals to you, I would make the move on it. Otherwise, you can technically wait for the Switch 2. I mean, it's not like pressing if you're fine with what you have right now. See how Donkey Kong lands, and you know what? I would see people obviously think that there's gonna be a direct in June. See what's at the direct. See what we have coming up. Let them kind of lay out the first 12 months of the system in front of you and see where we are, because there are a lot of games that they need to date for this year, and a lot of us expect them to probably have minimum one good first party release or one somewhat big first party release almost every month for the rest of this year. G-Million says, my Switch is coming tomorrow by 9 p.m. Rich Retro said, I walked into Walmart at 10 a.m. with food poisoning. Was able to grab the last Switch 2 Mario Kart bundle.
Clutch. Wow. Let's go.
Dave says, Mario Kart World, 4 out of 5 stars. I wish it had a story mode. Would have been awesome to include RPG elements like upgrading your cart and stats. Knockout mode is fire. Yes, those would have been cool things. Kind of just flesh out the free roam a bit more. Make it like an adventure kind of game.
I'm actually good at the knockout mode. I only played 2 online. The first one I finished 4th. The second one I won.
Oh, nice. CJ
I mean,
says,
it's kind of, it's not really skill based, item based, but whatever. I'll take a win.
CJ says, I had to send my Switch 2 in for warranty already. Kind of sad. It crashed on Switch 2 games and enhanced. I want to bring it to people's attention. I mean, yeah, if you have a Switch 2 that's acting up, you might as well send it under warranty now. Do it as soon as you can.
Get some rum.
There you go. Glenmore says Staples had them in stock, only 3 in stock.
That's crazy.
That was like marketed too. What's that?
That was like marketed too a little bit. Like, oh, you can get it at Staples. Mm-hmm. All right.
Or you can get it at GameStop. Stapled.
I never. Yeah. Well, yeah. I never think to go to Staples for anything like video game related. So I don't know.
I didn't even know they were still around, to be honest.
Bro, I remember.
Wow, you brought everyone out, Sean.
I remember going to Staples as a kid with my dad all the time, and I would just fuck around on the computers. Those are good times.
Manado Mario says, apparently Switch 2 is overhyped because it's so easy to find one in stores, but even if Switch 2 sold out in stores because there's artificial scarcity. Well, the way we'll know is when Nintendo announces some kind of sales figure, and then it's like, oh, that was a lot of units that actually sold. There you go. But I think I'd rather have it so it's easier to find personally, because like I'm not Nintendo, like looking to, like in terms of like bringing in money and stuff. I just want to be able to find the system without having to fight over 10 of them. So I'm good with this.
Listen, guys, the PS5 and the Xbox Series, because people are comparing it to that. If there wasn't a chip shortage, there wouldn't have been all the scarcity, And if it wasn't COVID, those were like the 2 things that made it. You're not supposed to have to buy a $10,000 PS5. Like the scalping thing, that's not supposed to be something that should be like a normal thing. You don't want that. You want to be able to walk in and get a system. You want big lines for people to line up, but you definitely don't want it to be where people walk in and there is no system. Because just real quick, last time the Switch 1 had sellouts, right? But the Switch 1 had nowhere near the stock. So Nintendo had to airlift units. And they were pretty much losing money on every single one that they brought in that way because it's way more expensive to airlift them. So you don't want to have to go through stuff like that. You want to ship enough of them, especially like with the tariff threat or looming. Like you want to get all of them shipped and get them here and have enough to meet the demand, especially with summer coming up. Kids out of school, people having more time. So it's something to where it's a good thing that you can walk in and get them.
Furukawa is built different, baby. What can you say?
Gaming says a lot of people online have been noticing heating issues with the Switch 2, including myself, in docked and handheld mode. Anyone in the cast or chat experienced this, and this is something to be considered about. I haven't noticed in handheld mode. In docked though, it can get kind of warm. I will say that.
I noticed it in handheld.
Yeah, I've noticed it in handheld too. I'm kind of keeping an eye on it. I do have a thermal imaging device thing, so I was gonna take some photos and see what temps are coming out of the dock and stuff. But it's definitely generating a lot more heat than the Switch did. But we'll see how it goes in the longer term.
It might be one of those situations where Nintendo pushes an update for the fan profile so that the fan maybe kicks in at a lower temperature or what have you. We've seen that before with just tons of devices. I think the Steam Deck even got something like that where they realized the fan curve had to be changed, and they did. So I wouldn't be shocked if that's the case. Nintendo does something similar for the Switch 2 if it becomes a recurring issue. Ryan says, yes, the Switch Pro. We finally got that Switch Pro, technically. I like it.
Yes.
Dave says Griff Cast Guy loves the Switch 2.
Who's that?
Griff.
Oh, Griff.
Ryan says I'm deployed in Qatar, and the stores out here are wild. They're charging up to $700 to $1,000 equivalent for a Switch 2. I'll be waiting until Nintendo emails me to order mine. Yes. I haven't checked the secondhand market for the Switch 2 just because I feel like I can't imagine it's like on eBay and stuff that it's crazy just because these are they're pretty well in stock, but take a look.
It also depends on I've seen some people have posted that their stores are sold out. One person I saw it was I drove around for an hour and I couldn't find one. He was in the Jersey area apparently. So it's just based on where you live. Sometimes some places have more stock, others don't. So
Zoop says essentially Nintendo Switch Advance. Kind of is, yeah. Zuck says spent $650 total on Switch 2 stuff this week. 3 days later, I'm already bored of it. Still no games. Mario Kart is not $80 content. Already back to PS5. Hey, Donkey Kong's coming up.
I highly doubt he did that. That's definitely some cap.
Rufflemut says, after watching the Game Fest, is it worrying that the Switch 2 was left out from major third-party announcements? I could easily see RE9 on Switch 2. Yeah, I could see RE9 on Switch 2 as well. But again, I think in the case of the Switch 2, I feel like people should at least let Nintendo see if Nintendo does have a June Direct, and then we'll kind of go. If we get to the end of June and there's no Direct, and we're like, whoa, okay, then maybe we can revisit that. But I'd give them a little bit of a shot on that one. So speaking of which, they mentioned Summer Game Fest, and we've talked about State of Play. Let's go through these. So we had the State of Play that happened this week, the day before Summer Game Fest. And I'm looking up and down the list here, and this was an interesting one to me because I thought the State of Play in general, I thought it was pretty good, but then I see online people were not having it with the State of Play. So maybe it's just me. You guys will let me know as we go through here if the State of Play was actually bad or something. But they started with
the State of Play was good.
Okay, I thought I was crazy. I was like, man,
there was a big but though.
Yeah, there's a huge asterisk next to it. But we'll let you go through it first.
Luminous Arise, fall 2025. An actual Is
that how it's pronounced?
I always say Lumines.
I always say Lumines.
Yeah, Lumines. Said lumens.
Lumens. That's what lumens.
How lights work,
I say Lumines.
I always say luminous. Wow. Well, somebody's right. Somebody here is right. Hopefully, unless there's some other.
We're all wrong.
I mean, it's always possible. It's always possible. People want this. Okay, this person Spire says they say it like Evan. Oh, we'll see.
That's probably a mistake in the long run, but okay.
Yeah,
Luminous.
This one.
Luminous.
Yeah.
Luminous. Luminous.
That's probably how it is. Who cares?
Okay. Well, there you go. Anyway, it's coming out fall 2025. PSVR 2 support is optional, which is good because PSVR 2's got it's not getting a lot. Pragmata is back. That is 2026. It disappeared for a couple of years. Capcom finally got it back on track, I guess. It looks kind of weird. I mean, it looks different. I guess that's good, right? So at least it's something. I think you play as, it looks like an astronaut, and you have like a psychic girl android or something on your back they roll around with. I'm not really sure what to take from that trailer other than just like the point of view and some of the gameplay aspects to it. Romeo is Dead. I was looking at this. I said, this thing looks like a Suda game. And there he is. He pops up. The Grasshopper making it maybe 2026. Again, it looked different. I don't know. What's that?
Like Furukawa. Built different.
Like Furukawa.
Built different, baby.
It's built different. Super weird, though. It's so weird. Silent Hill F, September 25th. Third person, no HUD on that too when they were showing. Might be for the trailer, but at least that I do like that because Silent Hill 2 had a very similar approach where they really tried to pull you in with the audio and the visuals, no HUD. So I like how Silent Hill F is looking though, even though it has it has like melee combat. I think it looks good.
I'm on it. I'm on that one.
Right? Siren.
Well, yeah, it actually does. Yeah. Bloodstained: The Scarlet Engagement. So I guess the follow up to Bloodstain. So there we go. There's Digimon. Digimon Story, Time Stranger. It's October 3rd.
You on that one?
Big one here.
People were mad
on
online.
that Digimon?
People were mad.
Yeah, I'll check that one out. I didn't like Digimon Survive much.
Go ahead, Sean. Sorry.
It's only 30 frames on console, but 60 on Steam.
What's that? What is?
Digimon Digital Monsters.
Not buying it now. Might have to turn in the Steam Deck. It is a turn-based RPG, so it's one of those.
I will say I just discovered something very strange. I know.
Okay.
Not to hijack, but the Sonic game. I just started the Shadow stuff because I wanted to check it out and capture some footage. And I noticed that it was 30 frames, and it felt very jarring because I was just playing, obviously, the game in 60 frames. But there's two different modes. There's a graphics mode and a performance mode, and it defaults to the graphics, but it doesn't really tell you that. Like, I just looked it up online. Like, is Shadow's part supposed to be 30 frames? And it was like, no, there's a graphical setting for it. And it's like, you should have told me that. Like when I started the game, be like, hey, would you like to choose this or that? Because now I don't have to rip this apart because it actually plays fucking better.
Probably
they almost had you.
Yeah, you're just mashing buttons and just went past it.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
They almost got you.
They almost got
making
me.
that video.
No, because I captured the footage. I'm like, what is going on here? Now I got to recapture.
After Digimon Story, Time Stranger, Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evilise Chronicles. Final Fantasy Tactics coming back. Classic and enhanced versions included. MVG hates the enhanced version, so we'll be playing Classic. September 30th.
I didn't like the kind of Vaseline smoothened out look. Dude, why can't we just have pixel perfect graphics? That's what I want. Like, give it a 2D HD type vibe to it or something. Like, I don't know. Look, it's Final Fantasy Tactics. I love the game. I'll probably check it out, but the original's the best.
The only thing, though, they said the enhanced edition had the voiceover. I wonder if you can mix and match that, use the classic style with the voiceover. I don't know if they said one or the other with that. I'm not sure. That would be a shame.
I'm pretty sure they said you either play classic mode, that is just the vanilla game, or you play the new one. No ifs, ands, or buts.
That's kind of a shame. I'm still getting it. Yeah. I'll still be getting it, but that is kind of a shame. Cool to see Final Fantasy Tactics come back, though. Get a spotlight on that. Sean's game here, Baby Steps, September 8th.
That game. And the guy, this game made me laugh so much I almost threw up or barfed. I think he said barfed. It's like, come on, dude.
I just remember you hating that game last at that state of play or
because
whatever it was.
It started the show. I believe in presentation, even though, I mean, you watch my channel and clearly there's none of that. But I'm also not Sony. You know, I think everything needs to be very calculated when a game goes on and when a game is shown. It's like when we're talking in the group chat about, you know, things going on, I'll always say this is a middle of the show game. Like, why is this in a prime spot? Because it doesn't make sense to me. Pacing is important.
Pacing is important. Hiragami, which actually looked kind of cool. I don't know, it was like looked like it was folding up paper and stuff where they had origami figures and they transform into different abilities. September 3rd. So it's coming up. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, September 5th. Pac-Man, you get that as a pre-order bonus. Hot Shots Golf? Oh, I'll be getting it. I like Hot Shots Golf. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Okay, I know you guys are on that one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm on
Yes,
that one.
sir.
July
Yes,
31st.
sir.
It looks good. It looks good. July 31st, though. So 2 months, not too far away. With Cairn, that's like a climbing game. This is what I wrote down. There's demo out now. Go play it. Go for it. Okay. Here we go. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection.
Shocking.
Rollback netcode for the online play. They had all these classic arcade games in their console, handheld. They said Game Boy Advances in there if you want to play that. 2025. Still waiting on a release date on that one. But they said that there's some other stuff that they'll reveal later as well. I don't know if that means they're going to have some other games in there. I mean, I know there's some like the offshoot ones, like the Sub-Zero game from the PS1 or something.
Well, the big thing
possible.
about that is Mortal Kombat 4, because there was a whole thing about free Mortal Kombat 4 for a while because
okay.
They wanted Arcade 1-Up to make that so that was like a thing that was started. I know the guy who started it. But yeah, that looks super cool. I thought the coolest thing at the end was just Boone and Tobias standing at the arcade together, because they obviously are not on good terms and haven't been for a very long time.
We also had the Fight Stick from PlayStation, which is kind of some foreshadowing for later. It's wireless. They did say, though, it can also be wired, so they can plug it in. So that was a concern for people right away. It's titled Project Defiant. Then, okay, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. All right, Sean, August 28th. Sean noticed something immediately here.
I did.
I think he actually like almost went down the street with his shirt ripped off, yelling.
I almost did. They definitely, well, they said, because they said and more, and then it all clicked together. What they showed at the very end of the trailer was a mode from the online multiplayer. So I think they're adding in the game's going to have the online multiplayer in that. And if so, that is where I will be for a very, very long time. Like it was, when did that come out? 2004, 2005, with Subsistence. Because the online, the online mode, see, the online in Metal Gear 3 and 4 was just so unique. And then in 5, like, it was just very generic, I felt. So I never really played it that much. But like the modes where someone plays a snake and you're trying to find them and stuff like that. And then, you have your traditional modes, your team death matches and stuff like that. But then you get special characters in there who could do things. So I was very, very excited for that.
Neo 3, that's out early 2026. We're getting another Neo game, which is cool. And there is a demo right now, and it's like 30 something gigabytes. So it's not a small demo, but it's one they're going to use for feedback. So I've played some of the Neo games here and there. I'm not like the big Neo person, but it is cool to see another one happen. Thief VR.
I played the PS5, the Neo collection, and it's like a Souls type.
Kind of. I mean, yeah,
kind of, not 100%, but it's kind of like that. So, I mean, I think I tapped out after like 20 hours or so, but it's a good game for sure.
Dude, I tapped out after 20 minutes after that first boss just bodied me over and over again. I'm like, F this game. I'm fucking out. I'm not playing this game anymore. And I stopped. Never touched Neo again.
Yeah, you got to if you get past that first boss, there's definitely some more good gameplay to be had. But yeah, a lot of people felt the same way, where that first boss just beats your ass.
Yeah.
Well, that's inside like the demo, right? Inside the inside like the ship.
Yep.
But yeah, if you get past that part, it's okay. But yeah, I think I might be just a little tapped out on like Souls-ish type things. But that's just me.
Sabe, Skeeter, the big Skeet, McPeter.
I was gonna Skeeter, the big Skeet, McPeter.
Turtle. Look at this profile picture.
He nearly creamed himself when I said, dude, I was the same way. Like, it was just so much fun.
Turtle.
Shout out Skeeter. We had, let's see. Oh, Thief VR Legacy of Shadow, PSVR 2 title. There you go. There's new Thief. There you go. Yeah, Tides of Tomorrow is a multiplayer story game. You got other players' choices. They kind of showed them as like shadows almost in front of you in the game, which is interesting. Astrobot getting 5 new challenge levels. Sorry, hold on. Game of the Year Astrobot is getting 5 new challenge levels this month.
You weirdo. Why did you do it that way?
Because I know MVG, it annoys MVG.
Why?
It's a fine game, but it
Nate
wasn't.
MVG.
It was not my game of the year last year, John. That's all. It's a fine game, but I don't think it
put it
deserves
very nicely
game
there.
of the year.
What would you
What
give
was your
game
game
of the year?
Yeah, what was your game of the year?
Well, what came out last year, dude? I can't even remember.
Alzheimer's kicking in.
I know, right?
Mine was probably Indie. I love that fucking game.
Indie was definitely up there.
I'll accept Indie. That was a good game.
I loved that game.
It was not Stellar. People saying Stellar Blade. Absolutely not Stellar Blade.
No,
I don't know.
I was trolling people so much with this when it came to Astrobot. I was like, no, Metaphor is better. Metaphor every time. So mine was Metaphor.
I mean, that's game of the decade, to be fair.
Okay. Remember, somebody said here, I don't know who it was. Remind me, they said it wasn't going to be a 90+ rated game of the year nominee. Somebody said that. I don't know who it was. Can somebody remind me who said that?
It was probably me.
To be fair, MVG, we did also have DLC that was like nominated for game of the year last year. So
was Rebirth last year?
Rebirth was, yes.
Yeah, Rebirth was last year.
I'd say Rebirth was better.
I'll take Rebirth all that. All right, say it like that.
Y'all got to play Metaphor. I'm telling you, Metaphor. In my opinion, if Metaphor was better than Rebirth, but that's just, like I said, that's just me. Metaphor takes a while to get into, but once you get into it, it's incredible. It's really, really, really good.
Sea of Remnants. I put down Pirate Game with a question mark. I think that's what it was. There's like ship battles and stuff.
That's
2026.
Looks like Sea of Thieves on crack. It actually didn't look bad, I thought.
No, it didn't look bad. But it was, I was just going through. I was like, I think that's like a pirate game. They showed more. Yeah, okay. Swords of the Sea. That's August 9th. Oh, that's the one going into PlayStation Plus. So that'll be into PlayStation Plus immediately on August 19th. FBC Firebreak, same deal, but that's going to be June 17th. That's the game from Remedy, though, that I'm not as excited for that one as some of their other titles, I'll say. Classic PlayStation Plus games includes Deus Ex, June 17th. That's actually pretty cool to see that get a shout out, and it's dropping into the service in a week and a half. Kind of cool.
PS2 version.
That's kind of cool though. Still, I don't know. Twisted Metal 3 and 4. It's in July. Resident Evil 2 and 3 in just a summer, and of course, Mist and Riven are out this month. Not bad. That's kind of highlighted some games for the summer. 007 First Light. Third-person action game, stealth elements. I think it looks great visually. James Bond Origin Story 2026. One of the highlights of the show, I think, for me.
Yep,
I'm so happy this game. Listen, I know people first person, but I'm so happy this game's not in first person. I was wondering. I don't know if they actually already announced that beforehand, but I couldn't find anything. I'm happy like they're doing third person. They're doing stealth. They're doing. I mean, you could do stealth in first person, but to me, stealth is better in third. And it's like kind of like mix of like Uncharted and like Splinter Cell and Metal Gear. It's kind of like a mix of like
it's Hitman. It's just
Hitman. They're using their Hitman engine for it, but it looks faster. It looks like there's more action than Hitman in this one. From the stuff they showed, like they were quick. It was quick cuts of like basically running behind cover and doing stuff. But I thought it looked good. You're into this, MVG?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm all in on this one. This one looks really good. Like I was a little bit worried it'd just be like a reskin Hitman game, but no, I think there's a lot more here. But either way, I like it. I like James Bond. Love the games. So yeah, I'll check it out.
Like the idea of like an origin story they're going to start up here, because based on what they did with Hitman, I mean, if this works, I assume they're just going to start making 007 games as well.
I would hope so. When was the last 007 game we got? Like the last new one?
A new one?
It's probably been a decade and a half.
It's been a minute.
This has been like 360 PS3 era.
Yeah,
it was probably Quantum of Solace.
It's
was
PS3 360.
Yeah, that was PS3 360. Was there anything after Quantum of Solace?
I don't know.
I feel like
I think it was around then. I think that was the last one.
The last new one. I mean, I think we've had like other things come out, but not new games.
Yeah.
So Bloodstone. I don't know when Bloodstone was. There was one that was really bad though. I remember that, and it was like, yeah, that might be the end of 007 for a while.
Bloodstone. There was Legends, and then Quantum at 2008.
We had like a run of them, and then eventually they were like, all right, this isn't working, we're out. So,
Pretty much.
Ghost Yote, they just told us there's gonna be a gameplay deep dive in July. So
Nice.
thanks. Great. But then they closed out with I don't think anyone expected this. The fighting game community was just like upside down after this announcement. Marvel Token Fighting Souls. It is I mean, when they're going over this, it's Arc System Works paired with PlayStation XDev paired with obviously Disney and Marvel. So it looks great visually speaking, but then they're like, oh, it's 4v4 and it's coming to PS5 and PC in 2026, and it has that style all the way around it of Arc System Works. And this to me looks like the next big like Evo fighting game esports title right here.
Yep, all the fighting game guys that I follow on Twitter, where we're like finally saying we can get rid of Dragon Ball Fighters, we can retire. Like we can retire Dragon Ball Fighters and some of the other games. Obviously, Guilty Gear has been around for not too long, but Guilty Gear Strive has been around for a bit, which I think people will probably still play that. But yeah, it looks great. My brother is a huge fighting game fan, and I was in San Francisco at his place hanging out, and he was loving this reveal. I thought it looks really cool. Obviously, Marvel is dope, so it's cool to see that. So
did it show my feet?
Yeah.
I don't know why the camera messed up. I had to turn off the camera because I had to take a stupid picture for my thumbnail for tomorrow. And then I guess I hit the wire.
Why do you got to take that picture now? You could have taken that picture
because I'm an old man now and I'm very tired. I sleep normal now, and
got it for free.
I know. Giving away
that was the PlayStation Showcase, though. We still have the Summer Game Fest stuff. Do you guys each want to pick a game that you just want to highlight from the show? Because I know there's a lot of titles there, but I also know that
most of them sucked. Yeah,
these two of you were falling asleep during it.
I'll go with Resident Evil 9.
I mean, that's the easy one. You might as well pull that one.
You know what? I'll do Mina. For stupid Celia. Mina looks great. It looks like an awesome game. It's always good to see her getting her shine on. A little upset she didn't shout me out. Yeah,
she's reading off teleprompter.
I don't care. Just throw something in there. What's he gonna do? Bum rush you on the stage?
That's true. We saw it happen with Splitgate.
Yeah.
You know what? I just realized something. Oh, go ahead, Sean. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They've been killing that man online. Jesus.
It's coming out. I mean, the Howler is coming out October 31st, and there is a demo that is available on Steam.
Is there?
You go try it out. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Wow, I didn't even know that. I need to do that.
And if you really want to help out with Celia and Mina the Hollower, I'm sure she's going to say this. If you just wish list it, it helps out. That is like a big thing for them, I think, on Steam or other platforms, wish listing it. So there you go. But yeah, that's a good one. What about OJ? What's a game from the Game Fest stuck out to you?
From the Summer Game. Probably Resident Evil.
Okay. Resident Evil.
Sorry, I gotta go with the boring. I gotta go with the boring one, I guess. Like boring as in, everyone's probably gonna pick that one.
Resident Evil 9.
Yeah.
Resident Evil Requiem.
The only thing is that there's a little bit of an asterisk for me. Like, I don't know if it's going to be the first person Resident Evil or if it's going to be third person. Some of the first trailer that they showed kind of makes it seem like it could be first person based on some of the cut shots. But, if it's first person, then I'm going to be not as excited to play.
Keely
Keely
said something weird at the end, like there was kind of like a new twist on it or something.
He did something about the gameplay and like the scope of it. They show obviously the big crater and stuff where they just like destroyed it with like nukes. Although some people are like, were they actually nukes? It sounds like they retconned that. It's kind of just like because you're like going back to there, right? So
people think that Lisa
Trevor
was teased at the end, according to some people, because it was like you heard the sound of chains and you couldn't kill her in Resident Evil 1 remake. And then, that creepy looking face at the end of the trailer. So, I mean, I don't know. I've just seen discussion about it.
I mean, people have the theory, of course, that Leon is coming back for this one. He's
Okay.
there. It is again.
Jesus fucking Christ.
RG feet.
There's
Whatever.
there
Just be
obviously
tough,
people are throwing around it that Leon's gonna be back in the game. And that's gonna be a big reveal. But the trailer looked great, and now I'm sitting here just trying to find out more about it. But of course, Capcom's probably gonna have their own event for it later on and explain the gameplay elements to it that they are really starting to hype up. How do you feel about them?
They will. They're gonna talk about this game.
Yeah, look at what they're doing with Animusha. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ!
yeah.
Every event, here's a new trailer. It's like I'm sold.
That's even light compared to what they usually do. I mean, Capcom never shut like Monster Hunter.
Oh,
my
Jesus
goodness.
Christ! Yes,
They'll never shut the hell up, which is fine. It sells and the marketing works, but Capcom always talks about it a lot. So we'll get a lot more on anything Capcom.
How do you feel about them pulling that swerve in the beginning? They were like, "Oh yeah, we'll be back to tell you someday," and they're like, "Oh, in a blink of an eye." I guess that whole idea was to try to fake people out. Obviously,
Yeah, it was a fake out.
yeah. I mean, I guess that's the way. I guess Jeff is just trying to. I don't know. I guess just keep people hyped up or just surprise people. I guess I don't know. I feel like if they didn't do that and it just closed out with it, people still would have been surprised. So
people were anticipating either at the Sony show or the Summer Games Fest Resident Evil 9 because there'd been some like leaks and stuff about it. But yeah, people were still surprised though. It was still surprising to see.
I'm surprised you didn't bring up Wu-Tang there, Sean.
Well,
all right.
I mean, I'm excited for it. There are some. I want to see a little bit more from it and stuff, but we'll see.
All right, FBG, what you got?
Well, if we're all picking different games, Mafia: The Old Country was my pick of the show.
That's a good one.
I mean, Resident Evil and Mina were better showings, but I liked what I saw with Mafia: The Old Country. Of course, it was just a trailer, no gameplay, and they did say that, but man, this is something that is really up my alley. So I think that was probably my favorite. It's $50 game, I believe. It's $50, right? So I'm checking this one out. I love the Mafia games. I played all of them. I'm all in on this one.
You okay with the 50? And it sounds like it's going to be maybe I'm going to say a short experience, but a more controlled, reined in experience that's somewhat more linear, I guess. And
that's all I want. That's all I want. I don't want an open world game where there's 50 million things on a map that you have to go do objectives. Just give me a cool story about the old country in Italy. I'm all in on this. This game looks great.
Okay, good stuff. Evan, was there any game that stuck out to you?
I mean, Arc Reader's got an announcement, but I know a lot of people who thought it was going to shadow drop. Ill was good to see because I think it's been a while.
That was crazy.
But it's all been kind of overshadowed since apparently Plague Tale leaked the third game.
Yeah,
I think it's an Xbox event probably tomorrow. Yeah, Ill was like a game that YouTube's. What's that?
That's Sunday.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Moving on.
Oh my god!
Welcome to.
I was
waiting
for him to
Saturday,
realize.
Sean.
I was just waiting,
dude. I'm being serious. Are you okay, dude?
I didn't.
Right?
I didn't realize that shit. Dude, I've had no concept of time. I haven't really been sleeping much.
Yeah, you've probably been making videos every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So I didn't. What time is that event?
It's 1 in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon, something like that.
Oh fuck
for
me.
us. I gotta look at that because last time I saw it was like Pacific time, but
I think isn't it 12? Yeah, you're right. It's
1.
I have to check now. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's 1.
Shout out to Triple.
Says 1. Fuck, that just
is that 1? That's 1 p.m. East, right?
Yeah.
Jay followed up and said 1 Eastern.
That throws a monkey because I'm thinking from like my plans because I'm fucking doing all this shit. Okay, that's fine. Rather have too much to do than not enough to do.
I want to shout out Felt That Boxing because I need to actually see this game when it comes out. I need to see if it holds up to what they showed us. That UE5 Muppets game with the boxing.
Like that Arlo simulator, right? Like that's what it looked like.
I mean, I know they were trying to be like the M rating and stuff on it too, with the the
Arlo's fans
characters and stuff.
Passed out when they saw that shit. They were like, "What?"
I need to see if the visuals and the style actually holds up when they release the game like that because it did look a little too good at times. And the gameplay, it looked like when they showed it from like the angle where it's like behind the character, like Punch Out, I guess.
Are you trying to say that it looked a little too Killzone 2, John?
I mean,
a little too Watch Dogs,
a little
too Zelda tech demo from Space
World
too
2000. Cyberpunk.
Man, it might have, man. I don't know. It looked pretty good, like in terms of the visuals, and they kept saying, "Hey, those UE5, the whole thing." I don't know. We'll see whenever it decides to come out, because we didn't get any kind of like release window or date or anything on that.
But hey,
but
Jeff was a big fan. He loves them.
Yeah, maybe if it's a more limited experience, like how it looked like it was just a Punch Out, and you're not necessarily walking around with characters. I guess maybe it just jumps between fights. Maybe they can pull it off, but at least it was different. Looked different, compared to people were like, man, a lot of these games look the same for a stretch there. So,
but was it built different?
Nice.
Let's see. Let me see some of the super chats here as we finish up. Let's see. Callan Shaw says, finishing up Switch 2 welcome tour now. I'm glad I paid $10 for Nintendo. Could convince me how truly revolutionary rubber dampening pads are. This is from Paprobi. Says, I walked into a Walmart during lunch and picked up a Switch 2 bundle without a pre-order. Took me 10 minutes. My Target pre-order arrives next week. Crazy.
I heard that. I heard that Target dropped the ball, man. Like, I think they're releasing theirs on Tuesday. People are getting theirs next Tuesday. But
yeah, people still don't. Like, I have a couple followers that still don't have theirs yet.
Fuck that.
Rufflemutt says, Nintendo don't need to rely on them, but Switch need to be somewhat competitive with Sony, since, let's be honest, Xbox is not a competitor no more. Well, we'll see. I mean, again, we'll see what Xbox has tomorrow. We'll see what they have. Rufflemutt says, supposedly the Switch 2 launch day broke records.
We'll
wait for confirmation, but there's some early word,
some early talks.
Yeah.
YouTube is censoring my comments. Says, can you guys call out Dreamcast guy flip flopping around from saying the Switch 2 is trash? Now he's excited for its future. What is he smoking? I didn't see he was excited for the future.
Yeah, I didn't see when was that excited for the future part?
He was going through it with the Switch 2. I see the videos that pop up. He was going through it. He's going through it.
He's getting a range of emotions.
He's getting those views.
Getting views.
Hey, give him that.
Shout out to Max.
Yeah. Cosmic Detour became a YouTube member. Shout out to Cosmic. Illustrious says, I wish the Joy-Con lit up in the dark room with tritium. Patrick says the NSO GameCube app has an Easter egg. Once you click into it, has to, before you see the games, hold the joystick up and you'll see it. Yes, you can get the GameCube startup screen, which is kind of cool.
Or you can hit. So Brett sent me that last night, and he was like, "Make a short on this; it'll be good." And I dragged my feet all day, and the way I do it is you hit ZL, ZR, L, and R all at the same time, and it does that. And then he sent, as he's editing it, because I finally sent it to him, he sent me your short, and he's like, "Oh, this is an easier way." And it's like, fucking Christ.
Just move the joystick left or right,
or
up and down, whatever.
Nah, just hit the buttons. Do it the RGT way.
I found the other way though. If you have the joystick over and then you double tap the shoulder buttons, it'll do the GameCube one where it makes a different sound when you hold down Z when you turn it on. It still has that too. Yeah. This is Casual New Gamer says, after trying Switch 2 in handheld, I cancel Satisfy. Pickle Rick says, RGT favorite YouTuber call should do Spawncast on Game Chat. Dude, we talked about that. We thought that'd be a funny thing, just so you guys could see the quality of it, like from varying like spots and stuff and scenarios. I don't know how that would work though, unfortunately. Okay, Casual Noob Gamer says, MVG, who's testing all the hentai games from Switch 1?
I have no idea.
How will we know? Yeah. Look at it. Shaq says, how does Ski Sniper run on the Switch 2?
It's like 120.
I've asked Nate to hate.
That bitch uncapped.
Nate's got your back.
Hey, there it is. Andre says Mario and Luigi Brothership needs a Switch 2 version. They need to just uncap the frame rate.
No, okay. So I did test that out. I haven't posted, but I did play it. And yeah, it's still like the loading times are still relatively long. It maybe runs a bit smoother, but yeah, it just needs a free update. Like it needs a free update version. Like they need to go back and do a bit of work to that one.
Albert says Nintendo added folders for the Switch 2. Did they?
No, it's the same thing as the Switch 1 folders.
Oh, I thought I missed something. I was like, did they? But
Yeah,
I
it's the
didn't know if
same
they
thing
put
as
a
the
tweet out
Swi-
or something.
Yeah, it's the same thing as the Switch 1 folders. And like the groups and all that.
Joseph says, I'd love a sequel to Kirby Planet Robot. Well, I guess Kirby Planet Robot's probably coming up soon. Paulie says, did Doug Bowser give Dreamcast guy a wedgie in high school, man? Elliot Hernandez says, Stargate 2 dongle, DAC with Orchestra Light on S2 a dub.
Not wrong.
There we go.
What?
Mr. House says, would love 60 FPS for Arkham City, would buy again. They didn't go back and uncap the PS5 version, so I'd be shocked if they did anything with the Switch version.
He's talking about City, not Night.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Night. Yeah, City. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, that'd be nice if they did that because there should be no problem there. The Portacilian Gamer says, consider competitive Mario Kart World Gamer DSP on the Spawncast. He specializes in positivity and meaningful content. Very robust podcast, John.
I never understood why people bagged on that motherfucker so much. And one of his Mario Kart streams popped up. Like what are the channels? I think it was Duty Streams that like take his streams and like just clip it and stuff.
You're in the vortex now.
I'm in the vortex, bro. I was fucking dying. He couldn't understand that he was in first place and somebody threw a blue shell and then somebody passed him and the blue shell still hit him because when they threw the shell, he was in first place. Like, the game's cheating against me. It's cheating against me. I wasn't in first place. I'm not. I'm in second place. Why would it? And he just kept going on. I need support, guys. We got to hit some goals. It's like, bro, are you fucking like? He just talks about money the whole time. Like I couldn't imagine doing that. Like, holy shit,
it's so reckless. His fans are even more brain dead though. The funniest thing was at the end of the stream, he's like, "Oh guys, I was expecting a little bit more because I purchased the Switch." And
he just talks about how he needs money the whole time.
He made $500 and he was bitching that he didn't make more because he had to purchase the Switch for $500. I was like, this guy's a whole ass bitch. Why would you talk to your fans like that?
It's crazy, dude.
Well, you got so much money. That was crazy.
Metro says Mario Kart World's color is very washed out or hazy on YouTube. Is it better IRL? Yeah, if you have it natively in front of you with like HDR and nice OLED, it looks good. It does. Yeah. It's a good looking game. Mr. OneUp says, I tried RE5 on Switch and it ran at 20 to 30 FPS. And on Switch 2, it is 60 FPS, but it does have a weird audio effect when multiple voices are played. But I want to try RE6 and see if it's also 60 FPS. I didn't try any of the Resident Evil games like that.
I've tried Revelations, but I haven't tried the mainline RE games yet.
Okay.
It's on the list, though.
Yeah, on the list. Freezy says, tried playing FIFA 25, NBA 2K25 on Switch 2. Looks terrible. Do you think most Switch 1 games will need to get a patch for the Switch 2? And also seen vids and posts about potential stick drift. The stick drift we'll have to wait and see because it looks like it's still using a similar mechanism for it. But FIFA and NBA, like we're just going to get new versions of those games this year anyway. So
they're not going to go back and patch older games, older sports games. There's no point.
The value of sports games, they deteriorate so fast. It's not even, there's no point.
ALV says, considering the game cart situation or game key card situation, shouldn't publishers to use smaller Switch 1 cartridges if read speed isn't a necessity? They'd be cheaper now. This be availability. Like Final Fantasy Tactics gets a free upgrade, to my understanding, on the Switch 2 if you have the Switch 1 cartridge. So like you might as well kind of buy that Switch 1 cartridge, I guess, and just use that physically. I don't know. It depends on availability because eventually they're just not going to have these Switch 1 carts available anyway for people to make games with. Elliot Hernandez says Switch 1 and 2 came out before GTA 6. It did. It really did. Man. Tapperbot says Summer Game Fest was kind of meh. Future Game Show, however. Chef's kiss.
What about the
Ellenhorn says y'all
wholesome game?
Wholesome. Y'all kept debating GameCube games we will never get, but one. Let's throw in Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. Yes, sir. Awesome. That was a good one. Waiting on the poll for Summer Game Fest to vote D. Yeah. Well. Vampire says, we all know John wants to game share all the hentai games on the eShop. That's why he wants to be able to do it. Great to see everyone tonight.
Oh, here's the patches I got from the
Oh, look at that.
with the Peach patch and a Toad patch. There was also a Luigi and a Mario one too.
Tapper then also says, also, how many of you gentlemen have Mario Kart stickered on the Switch 2 box as opposed to it being printed on? Mine was a sticker.
Mine's a sticker.
I got to check, but I think mine was a sticker.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it is.
Yep. Jenna asks, can MVG talk in a menacing Australian voice like Kano in the first Mortal Kombat movie? Tell RGT better play Switch 2 more. Sean's playing Switch 2 constantly.
Jenna,
MVG, why don't you do that and tell people where they can find you as we close out?
I'm not going to do it for $5, Jenna. If you want me to do voiceovers, you got to donate some more money. But
wasn't Jenna Hayes a porn star? I'm pretty sure
you can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G and on YouTube at Modern Vintage Gamer. Check out my backward compatibility video that I did the other day. I also have another Switch 2 video coming out on Monday. There's more Switch 2 content coming probably through the week. It's all Switch 2 right now. Thank you for having me on, John.
Toasted Taco says, as a trucker, the Switch 2 is amazing. Was able to grab 1-2 days afterwards release. I own a OLED Steam Deck, but I like the 120 hertz. I'm happy. Oh, I meant Fire Emblem and Luigi's Mansion. Shout out to Zoob.
Okay. I was like, what was he talking about? He said Crest. I'm like, what game is that?
Gotta take a second and double check your writing, man.
Dope. It's dope. As Drew says, I'm getting FOMO from not getting a Switch 2, but I just can't get past not having an OLED screen. I wonder how long we'll have to wait for that upgrade. 3 or 4 years, probably. I think it'll be a little bit. What?
Wait, hold on.
Oh, wait. What happened?
Proceed.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Mad Bell says, could DLSS be used to make split screen windows full screen while using game share? No more screen watching. Could DLSS be used to make? I don't know. I don't think so.
ITP.
Superman says, people say Switch 2 is not next gen enough, but 10 times more T-flop with ray tracing is absolutely next gen. What do people want in a post Moore's Law age? I just want it to be different in some way, like really different, like physically different.
But then people would complain that it was too different, just like we did with the Wiimote controls, just like we did with the Wii U gamepad. Like, come on, man.
OJ, where can everyone find you, sir?
Yeah, if I may, right here on YouTube, Player Essence. I also run the Spawncast pre-show, so if you want to stop by before this show, we usually have that. I got obviously a ton of Switch 2 stuff that I'm doing. I've been testing out a bunch of games like Bayonetta and more. I'll have a video on that, plus like a full review of the Switch 2 from like all the aspects of it, Pro Control. I got all the accessories and stuff and a bunch of different games. So I'll be doing a full review of that, and I live stream all the time. So there's always videos, there's always live streams, so you can come hang out, talk about stuff. We can go over things really community driven. So I appreciate everybody that does drop by, and I appreciate John, you invited me onto the show. And of course, all the other people here, I appreciate you guys as well for putting up with me throughout the whole time. So thanks for having me on. Shout outs to the chat as well. And yeah, like I said, more videos. Got another video coming out tomorrow. Had videos all this week. So yeah, just lock in. We're gonna have a lot of cool stuff. Player Essence.
David Hale says, I live in an area where people have a lot of disposable income, so the Switch 2 sold out pretty quick. Pretty Dude says, one thing I feel like was missed during State of Play was another day and date PC release, Sony game with Marvel Token. Time to move the goalpost again. That is technically Sony working on it, so.
You know what the asterisk was? The show was good, but the asterisk was that fans they want Sony's like big first party stuff.
Sure.
I get that. That's it. Like that's the only asterisk. Is like, yeah, these are great, but where is our stuff? When was the last time they had like a PlayStation, like actual like a PlayStation showcase, not a State of Play, but a PlayStation showcase where they showed off big first party games? So that's what the asterisk is. It was great, but we need our big, first party games, like, the big stuff like Uncharted and like God of War. Like, where's all that? Didn't help that somebody said that there was a freaking 2D Metroidvania God of War coming. That didn't help when it, like the rumor, even though it wasn't true, like that also, like I said, that didn't help the whole thing. So that was that.
Eliza Phil says, SE Foam Stars Killer Cap God RE9 Wilds Pragmata. Thank you. J2 Kart World says, John say Ridge Racer in the most enthusiastic way. I feel like last time we got into that, we got in trouble.
We didn't.
That was Max.
Well,
that was Max.
what's a good Ridge Racer voice?
like an announcer voice.
Yeah, like standard movie announcer.
Ridge Racer.
Ridge Racer.
Yeah, that was good. That was
Like
pretty
that.
good.
Okay, yeah, that'll work. Andy said about the Knicks Argentina. Sean is still healing from all of that.
I mean,
You didn't respond to my comment. Sean?
Where did you comment?
On Twitter. I sent you
dude,
a photo.
I'll be honest. I never look at the replies to my tweets because I feel like 90% of them are just people arguing with me.
Radberry says, "Hey all, do you have a segment for your predictions for the Xbox Showcase tomorrow? Great show as always. I would check out Nate the Hate. He did a very good predictions episode. I think was it with you, MVG, or was it with?
It was with me and Randall Thor, the man with the million. We did a very comprehensive predictions episode. So check out the Nate the Hate channel on YouTube.
Yep, we had a lot of stuff happen this week, so I feel like we weren't going to be able to get a predictions episode in here, but we will talk about the Xbox show next week on the podcast." Albert was Nintendo Switch 2 halves folders. Token ready to pull the FGC and the general audience because of Marvel. This plus Sony owning Evo and a fight stick is a huge bit of synergy from Sony, from Street Shadow. Evan, sir, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, socials at Kimrex Project, tabletop stuff. We usually go over that, hobby, hangout streams, just chilling.
D'Angelo says, went to Best Buy outside the city center. They had 9 of the Mario Kart bundles. I don't remember how many regular Switch 2s they had. Also, Marvel Token and Resident Evil Requiem looks amazing. Marcio says, the Muppet fighting game looks awesome. Frank says, anyone tested the Deadly Premonition games on Switch 2? Coming up.
I heard someone did.
Coming up. Poor Sicilian Gamer says, shout out Duty Streams, embrace the vortex.
I'm sucked in now.
Oh, man. Once you get into that, bro, it's crazy.
Zuck says show Mario Kart loading 8 seconds slower on the cart. Yeah, I did see it was just faster in general off of either the SD card for the Switch 2 or the internal storage. Let's see. Z says any chance CO E33 or E33 or Metaphor coming to Switch 2?
Metaphor. Wait, what was the Expedition 33?
Yeah, Expedition 33. I think Expedition 33 will.
And Metaphor, I see both games. Metaphor is definitely coming though.
Casual Noob Gamer says, of course, John watched Jenna Hayes. He has 30 kids. 30. Darkland says, RGT and John, plumbers don't wear ties.
Classic. A horrible game, but I mean, the FMV scenes were good.
Oh, Hernandez says, need a Switch 2 case. Which is the best one?
I'm seeing the official ones in stock at Walmart again, if you want to get one of those.
Okay. Well, I got everyone here. Okay. We're good. Everyone did their outros. We're good there too.
I didn't do my outro. You didn't go to me. I have a whole.
Everyone did them. Everyone did the outros. All right, Sean, where can everyone find you?
Find me on RGT85, and tomorrow, I guess there will be a video up later on Switch 2 stuff because we'll be covering the Xbox event early. I did want to say though, kind of a follow up to something OJ and I were talking about a couple of weeks ago with the college football game and how, a lot of those, there's college football 26 was announced and, those athletes are getting paid, good money. But I think one thing we don't really fully realize is that there are a lot of athletes, especially, in smaller sports, who go to these colleges and, they don't get the big payday or anything like that. Like, the basketball, the football players. And I just thought this was a bit of a heartwarming story. Someone that, unfortunately he's done some things. He said some things in the past, but I just want to give a shout out to Hulk Hogan for giving all these college athletes here, including these 3 black college athletes, David Carr, Kennedy Blades, a woman, and Aaron Brooks, a chance to make some real money in the Real American Freestyle Wrestling Association.
What the hell is this?
I've been holding on to this for weeks.
This setup is fucking stupid. Goodness gracious, it took so damn long.
I've been holding on for weeks. I couldn't be on last week because my fucking internet was out and I was so mad. I had to remind myself.
This man running PR for Hulk Hogan.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you. That
was great, Sean. That was great.
Thank
you had to tie in what we spoke about.
Yeah, dude. I've been
All this
sitting on it for
bullshit?
weeks. Like I was ready to go, and like I was gonna do it the next week, but I wasn't on. And then my internet was out last week, like all fucking day, and I was like, God damn it! And I was like, okay, just gotta keep it fresh, keep it fresh.
That was
Thanks.
actually great for real though. That was good. I got into it. I
Thank
like the setup. The setup had me like thinking he's actually gonna say something honorable here. Well, I mean, it's a nice gesture, like like I've hung out with racist people before. They can be nice at times. It's not all bad. it's not all bad. I mean, sometimes there's some good stuff.
Thanks everyone for tuning in to the Spawncast. We will be back next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you guys then.